We're finally here with Season 3 of the Ruthless Aggression Podcast. After a long wait, we're ready to dive right into the year 2004, and of course, we're happy to have Manscaped as a sponsor for today's episode, and we want to remind everyone that Manscaped is the best in men's below-the-belt grooming. We'll hear more about that later in the show, but shifting gears here before we get started, I don't want this to sound preachy or over-emotional, but as we go further along the timeline, especially in the year 2004, we have to discuss the accolades of Chris Benoit. There is nothing that I can say that hasn't already been said, but I feel it's important that now, and now only, that we make a statement regarding Chris Benoit. What he did was horrific and detestable, and we condemn his actions now and forever. With that being said, this show, as I've stated many times, serves to give a reflection of how we reviewed the WWE and pop culture of the mid-2000s, then versus now. And with that comes Chris Benoit. We will give our recollections, which include positive views of Benoit, but never praising his real-life counterpart. If you felt this statement was needed from us, we hope it serves you well. And please, if you ever see anyone tweet at us demanding an explanation on why we're discussing Benoit, just point them to this episode. And with that out of the way, we hope you all enjoyed the show. And now it's time for that Ruthless Pod, baby.
Ruthless aggression.
I forgot to tell you.
And who is your favorite wrestler of all time? Triple H. Chris Benoit's 18-year odyssey has culminated. Kurt Angle. Yes. Your new general manager, Theodore.
The cement friends, you tell your Mexican family that they better stay in Mexico.
All over the streets, man. Look for the yellow jacket all over the green can. It'll pump adrenaline like a giant machine, man. Think anything else, that's just obscene, man. Need a pill, routine, man. It'll blast like a fire with gasoline, man. Make sure the simple citrus is up in your hand. 10 times the energy of that heavy metal band.
Of Rumbel's 06.
Oh, that reminds me. You know what? I had this thought.
Yes.
I had an idea popping in my head this week. I was like, backyard federations, right? They are wasting so much creativity if they have a Royal Rumble match and don't call it the Rural Rumble.
Levi, what was that channel you or I found? That really bad backyard wrestling channel on YouTube. Remember that?
I don't know, but I know what you're talking about.
Or like everybody, yeah, that. We're ground up. It was so bad. And like everybody was just like mumbling their dialogue, like, "Hey, I'm about to kick your asses."
What?
Remember that one
girl
came out and it was treated like a big deal.
I'm
like,
back.
Haha, I'm back. And then she like picked up like a cookie sheet and just like started like weakly smacking the dudes. It's so lame. I love that. I gotta find that. That would be so funny to watch.
Yeah, put it in our group chat and send it to Jake.
I know like the very beginning.
Looking for Big Show gift for like the past 10 minutes.
Dude, you think you're such a Big Show fan?
I think.
Dude, you're a mark, okay?
Okay, I think I found it.
Awesome.
Don't watch that one video I linked. That's not the good one. This is it. The 10-man Royal Rumble match. CHW Backyard
How far in is I'm back?
Just like, it's not too far. Just kind of like, at least watch the opening because it's so cringy.
Yeah.
And then, gotta watch her come out. It's so funny. And she doesn't hit him with a cookie sheet. She comes out and just, you'll see. It's so pathetic.
God, this is the epitome of outlaw mud show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Boo.
So lame.
Alright, fat guys. The thing is, these guys don't know that you're supposed to work punches.
Well, I'm sure they know. They just don't care. Look at this guy. I'm watching from the beginning. This guy's trying to hide. Like, he won't see me come out.
Oh, God, there she is. What the fuck?
I'm back.
God, this is so pathetic. And they're just like in a freaking. They're just between like two buildings. I'm sure some people are looking out from their apartment, like, what the hell are these people doing?
Dude, that's probably the fastest she's ever run. Wow, she is fat. Fat.
And better than ever.
The top comment says, "It's a 10 man. Why is there a girl?"
You know those pie tins, they sure don't do a lot of damage, but they make a lot of noise. All right, I can't watch this anymore.
I love it. It says, and I love it. And like the first thing it says in the description is, "Warning: Don't try this at home." Says people trying this at home.
No. They're in a parking lot somewhere or someone else's backyard.
They're between like a weird like low rent apartment complex. It's okay.
Try it there. Oh man, we're back. It's another.
I'm back.
I'm back. Oh man.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry. Folks, we're referring to this silly backyard wrestling video. I don't want to shout out their name because I don't want to give them attention, but if you know, you know. It's so sad.
No, we want them to shout our name to get attention.
Yeah, we want them to shout our name.
I don't want her shouting my name.
Oh, baby.
Man, what a long
Who's ready
season.
for that Royal Rumble?
What a long season this has been, man. Just of waiting for that ruthless goodness. But it's here. We're back. Better than ever. Season 3 of the Ruthless Aggression Podcast. I'm Levi, joined as always by that big, juicy Kyle. What's going on, man? How are you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm here. It's Kyle. I'm ready. I'm ready to get royal and rumbly.
And of course, as always, to my left, it's good old Jake R. Jake, how's it going, man?
Well, you see, I'm having a good old day because the sun came up and so did I. Mostly thanks to Blue Chew, if you catch my drift.
And today we're reviewing that big old Royal Rumble 2004. And of course, in real time, I try not to do this, just to kind of leave it as a review and that's it. I try not to date this too much. I say that sometimes, but sometimes there are exceptions. And IRL, we lost Pat Patterson recently, who is credited as the maker of this match, this Royal Rumble match. So I just thought, maybe we can share like a couple nice words to say about Pat Patterson. And I'll go first here. Loved his work in the 90s. The thing is, there's a generation that knows him as one thing, and then there's another that knows him as another, and that's a comedy act. And it's kind of how I know Pat Patterson, being one of the Stooges with Gerald Briscoe. Just absolutely top-notch funny stuff.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the whole joke about knowing how to wear your underwear because there's a yellow stain in the front and a brown stain in the back is like, he was so self-deprecating to get the show over. He would do whatever it took to make people laugh or do whatever he needed to do if he needed to go out there and be the goon, or one of the stooge rather. He could do that too, and like you said, we know him as one thing, and it's hard to look back at revisionist history and be like, oh yeah, he was a great wrestler too, which he was, but that's just not how I saw him and how I knew him. But certainly an absolute, like, he was a gem anytime he was on the screen.
For me and Pat Patterson, I don't have too many memories of him because by the time I watched wrestling, like, he wasn't just on the screen too much, but what I've seen, what I've heard over the past little bit since his passing, seemed like a really cool dude and brought a lot of smiles to people. So rip in peace, Pat.
But let's switch gears here. Royal Rumble 2004. It took place January 25th, 2004 at the Wachovia Center. It's now known as the Wells Fargo Center. I know, it's crazy, Kyle.
I'm a big Wachovia fan. I'm sorry.
Love Banks.
Yeah, Wachovia. Keep my money.
TD Waterhouse.
I love Wachovia so much. I just let him keep my money. I don't even want it.
I'm sorry, sir. Due to the current pandemic, unfortunately, we have to charge you an overdraft fee in these trying times.
Boo! And all of a sudden, Wachovia comes out and Stone Cold Summers that bad bank. We won't do that. What?
Stone Cold Suzanne Summers, absolutely.
What?
Suzanne Summers.
It sounds like a John Cena Instagram post.
For anyone wondering, I don't know if you picked it up on Mike. My cat was just yowling. For some reason he just does that. Like my wife is gone for a bit,
weird.
and he's just like, "Oh God, there's one less person in the house." Ah!
Is that Cobra or Cornbread?
Cobra, Cornbread's cool. He's just chilling. He's sleeping.
Shut up.
Shut the hell up, boy.
So the arena has a capacity of 20,500, but we crammed 17,289 in for tonight's event.
Juicy.
We're sponsored tonight by PlayStation 2. And this was a whole 3 PlayStations ago at this juncture. Do you guys have the PS5 by chance?
No, I'm sorry, but I play on PC.
I'm at that point in life where I'm like, I'll wait for some more games to come out, but how different can it be?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like, there's nothing that just shines like, oh man, I want to play that. So I'm waiting. Anyways, this is PS5 talk. Stay tuned.
Our theme song tonight is Nothing Left to Lose by Puddle of Mud. Guys, do you have any Puddle of Mud memories?
Yeah.
I call him POM, thanks, because I'm like a mega fan.
He's a mud puddle.
You got your pom-poms for Pom?
No, we call all of the Puddle of Mud's fans are called mudslingers, so I'm a hardcore mudslinger.
Ooh. I remember that first album came out and it had so many bad songs on it, but the She Hates Me song hit so hard and like everybody was listening to it, and that song was it was like the worst part. Met a girl, thought she was grand. It's so terrible.
I never
So-
really liked
so
that
wait a
song.
second.
The only
Did you like
What's
it or
that?
did you not like it?
I hated it.
Yeah, everyone was playing it, and that was one of the first songs that, played all the time that I thought, because I had to have been like, 7 years old at the time. I was like, this is cringy. I don't like this song.
Yeah, I hated that song. The only Puddle of Mud song that like stands out to me is like, yeah, I can listen to that song. Is just that song Blurry.
I love that song.
That's not a bad song.
it all away.
It's like the ultimate like new metal angst song. I love it.
But guys, I would be absolutely remiss if I did not bring up what I consider absolutely ruined this year. I blame it all on this song. It's Puddle of Mud covering that Nirvana song About a Girl. Have you heard it?
Ugh.
It went viral for all the wrong reasons.
It's terrible. He sounds like he's like, it sounds like it hurts to sing.
It hurts to listen to.
I do. I'll put a clip in right here.
He's gonna.
Easy friend, I do. With the head to hand, I do. Thank you fit this too, I do. But you have a clue. Take it, then it's wild. You hang me out to dry. I can see you every night. Rain. I do.
Next, he's gonna cover Big Show's theme. He's gonna be like,
Life, no one really knows where it will take us. Is it our own decisions that guide us, or does fate play the bigger role, dictating the road we'll travel? Which course we'll be steering?
7 years in the making.
What twists we must endure? One thing is for certain. There is no certainty, no way to know. And everything can change in an instant.
A year and a half of his life gone.
In a flash, the things you hold close can disappear, vanish like a lost thought. Lifelong trust can turn on you, blood can betray you, and the future you foresaw, gone.
A family broken.
Tonight is a pivotal point where paths collide.
The 30-man Royal Rumble matchup.
The winner goes to the main event at WrestleMania to wrestle for championship gold.
And while some men's dreams will be shattered, no one's lives will ever be the same. One moment can change everything.
Philadelphia, here we come!
Tonight, fate will rear his head. Destiny will play his hand. The road to WrestleMania begins tonight.
And now, Raw, SmackDown, and PlayStation 2 present WWE Royal Rumble.
So what do you guys think about the opening package here? We get sort of a winding road, and I guess that's an allusion to the road to WrestleMania.
You know what they say, every day is a it was okay. It was pretty basic. Like just a bunch of dudes who were like, I'm going to be in the Rumble, tee. It wasn't as good as last year's.
Definitely.
50 men will enter my butt.
No!
Oh my gosh, it's the creepy lady.
It's the creepy lady. Ruthless Discretion Podcast special guest, creepy lady.
How are
How's
you
it going,
doing?
creepy lady?
It's going pretty good. Mostly just, you know, do ads for 1-800 kind of like services, and I have my own adult sex hotline I call.
Oh, what's the
say
number for that?
It's 1-800 creepy lady.
Sounds sexy.
You call in, you're like, hey, creepy lady, what do you think of my wiener? And she goes,
That's a very large wiener. Wanna see my big boobies?
And it's like Mae Young at the Royal Rumble 2000.
Oh, come on!
I mean, I feel like we've all come across that picture in a wrestling forum at some point in the early 2000s.
yes.
Or it's just like saggy water balloons. Anyway.
Hey guys, look at these hot mamas.
That's how Mae Young sounds.
Yeah, sure does now. Okay, she's dead. Oh. This is how Mae Young sounds now.
She sounds a lot like Test.
Oh, that's mean. Ruthless Aggression shot of the night. Stacker 2 presents.
Long overdue, but now I'm feeling me slamming. Boys to men, ABC, BBD. The East Coast family never skip the beat. Nah, while cooling on South Street, just like that.
Get ready, hold on to your seat, because that first match is a World Tag Team title match between Evolution, consisting of Ric Flair and Batista, and the Deadly Boys with Big Bubba and Devon.
So, as we've already covered, at Armageddon 2003, the Dudley Boys ran the gauntlet, which confused Kyle,
That did confuse me. It was a weird gauntlet, but whatever.
and they beat every team on Raw to retain their World Tag Team titles. Well, except for one. Eric Bischoff comes out and announces that there's still one more team. Out come Flair and Batista.
It's like, there's still one more team. They're a little late. I'd say by about 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God, they're back! They're back!
That would be,
Let me get that rover here, Pop.
I was about to say that would be cool, but actually, no, it wouldn't. Like, if that happened at the time, no one would care.
Yeah, we would laugh about it now, but nobody would give a crap at the time.
I think we hyped up 3 Minute Warning so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I want them to come back, have a push.
It's like they're underrated, but you can see why they didn't work back then. So
Everyone was talking about their
power
poo.
hand shot.
I mean, Jamal and Rosie, those aren't very intimidating names.
Yeah.
I mean, Rosie, it's like, kinda. You could kind of make that work, but
When I hear Rosie, I just think of like Rosie O'Donnell or somebody. And then Jamal is such like a basic name. It's like it might as well just be named like Steven.
Those close to my grandma call her Rosie because her name's Rosa, and so that's what I always thought. That's what I always thought of.
Grandma.
But anyway, the Practically Fresh team just absolutely routed the worn down Dudleys to become the new tag team champs of Raw last month. Both teams have been clashing on Raw each week in the lead up to this pay-per-view, so let's find out who the better team is right here.
Okay.
If that's okay with you, Jake. I mean, I know how much you hate Blubber Ray.
I'm okay with it.
Are you sure you don't want to say something absolutely mean about his outfit?
Well, I mean,
I caught you.
I was gonna try to let it go, but his shorts, they never fit. He gets so much dude thigh, and I don't know what the deal is with Bubba Ray. He looks like the kind of guy who'd be hairy, and his legs.
I have opened up a can of worms. What have I done?
He has absolutely no hair on his legs, which leads me to believe that that Blubber Ray shaves his legs. I can just imagine him like, "Hey, Devon, get the shaving cream."
Oh, not again.
To be honest,
you're the black brother.
The black brother. I'd imagine like quite a few wrestlers would shave their legs, kind of like how they shave their backs and their titties
and their armpits.
No.
And their buttholes. Not A-Train, but I mean, that man was fantastic. You know, I booted up, I had some friends over last night. I booted up No Mercy, and I was like kind of sad because, you know, they have Albert, but no A-Train. Like, I want that shirtless, hairy glory.
For real. Put him in trunks.
I know. I didn't feel like doing it. I'm going to go to Character Creator and explain to everybody, oh, sorry, this guy in a few years takes his shirt off, and he's really hairy and gross and disgusting. I kind of want to see that. Like, no.
Well, he could just change outfits. He had the 4 outfits.
I know, but all 4 outfits, he's wearing a shirt. It's like, really?
Digging a dog.
Hey,
Show me them big nipples.
Show me them big diggity dogs.
Sharko.
So anyway, here we go.
Jabroni.
The ring. Batista cuts a promo on the Dudleys and talk about how they beat them a few times since Armageddon, saying the Dudleys are the biggest 3-time losers since the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, boo!
Oh, boo.
We're in Philadelphia. We don't like that.
Jake, can you kind of explain where the Philadelphia Eagles were in terms of, I guess, win-loss records, championships, stuff like that, at this current juncture?
Yeah,
don't mess it up or we'll hate you.
Well, the year after this, they end up in the Super Bowl. I did a lot of research on that team. But this is the season where they once again fell short of the Super Bowl. And so it happened like a week before this. And the Eagles were a team that was fly, Eagles fly all season long until they got to the postseason. And then they got the beat smack laid down on them. And so that's a fresh wound to this Philly strong crowd. And so Batista ripping off the Band-Aid and saying, ha, 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 your football team is bad.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Which is the best way to get cheap heat.
It works here, and the crowd want absolutely none of it. So the Dudleys meet them on the rampway to start it off.
Ooh.
Batista starts kneeing that big old blubber belly Ray of Blubber Ray.
He goes, oh my God.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I
just like New York deep dish. I'm feeling sick.
No, he had a Philly cheesesteak that night to be authentic.
Oh yeah, that's what he said.
So I'm gonna poop my pants.
You should have gotten a microphone and been like, you know what? I love the Eagles. And now after I finished my Philly cheesesteak last night and went and saw the Liberty Bell, I thought I'm gonna beat you guys up, so I'm gonna do it now. Come here.
Come here.
Everybody's just like foaming and excitement.
Like,
And also, I was at ECW. Oh my God, it was.
Easy up, easy up, easy up. So Batista throws a punch and misses Bubba and inadvertently hits the ring post. Meanwhile, Flair starts barreling towards Devon, but gets caught.
In a spagingo! Oh my god!
Dudley's go to work on Flair. They set up a table, but Batista moves it before they can suplex Flair through it.
Oh man, one spot that you missed I thought was like neat was when Devon, when he pulled that table out first, and he saw Batista was kind of like crumpled on the opposite side on the apron. He just slid it across and just like bashed Batista in the chest. That was really cool.
Yes. Batista and Devon go to the outside. Bubba sets up a table vertically in the corner.
Ooh.
But before he can do anything, Flair starts going at Bubba, kind of like a punching bag, and Bubba's just flopping and flailing all over the table. And at this point, I'm thinking, what if his large and in charge stature, causes him to go through?
He looks like the table is bending under his weight. Like every time Flair hits him, the table goes. It's like...
To be fair, like both Devon and Bubba are kind of fat, you know, but it's like Devon just wears it so much better.
Hold on.
Devon's like,
I resent that. I think Devon's actually in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
big
just
dude.
maybe he's just thick, bruh.
That boy thick.
Maybe he's got like a power lifter body or something. That's what I'm trying to say.
Were you trying to say that?
Sorta, yeah. That's all I was gonna come around to, but then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, you guys, kind of stupid, derp."
What do you think, Jake?
I think he thick boy.
Fair enough.
You know what, guys? I want to take this to announce that formally leaving the podcast. It's been good.
Oh man.
Oh, JK. Lol.
Thankfully, the table held up, though. Bubba gets Flair with the dusty elbow and tells him to suck my New York deep dish. Batista comes in to take out Bubba with a big clothesline.
Oh, baby.
Batista then stomps at Devon on the ground. Devon fights out and gets Flair with a clothesline. Batista misses a charge on Bubba, but he evades so that Batista goes shoulder first into the post.
Oof. Oh.
So in the corner, Devon charges at Flair and eats a back elbow. Flair goes to the top turnbuckle, but as always, he gets tossed off. Yes?
I don't know. I just imagine you after saying that you go, and then Bubba Ray goes in the corner and eats a Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Yeah,
I just got one wrapped up on the side. You know, if somebody were to ever like link him, he'd want to kick our ass immediately.
Okay, I'm sorry. I know we always have like jokes to make about Bubba Ray, but honestly, like looking at him in this match, he's got one of the least intimidating body types like in all of WWE.
He's like Uncle Mike.
He's just a dude. Like he's got small arms, he's got small legs, he's just got a big belly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember thinking that when he was...
you know, Levi, he's got a big belly, but he's also got a big heart. So why don't you ease up on him?
Insert Bubba Ray to the Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Some say his belly grew 3 times that day.
Stop eating!
But yeah, Flair, he goes up top and gets tossed off the top by Devon. Dudley's, they set up a table, and Jonathan Coachman leaves his position at the announce table. And the explanation to him being here is that 1 week on Raw, Theodore Long was put in charge by Eric Bischoff. I can't remember if it was for the Survivor Series favor or not, but either way, he's in charge and was in Memphis at the Pyramid when that was still a thing, not a big Bass Pro Shops. Yeah, he put Jonathan Coachman at commentary. I guess that's a full-time gig.
Hey, real quick, that Pyramid, was that like an arena at one point? Because I've only ever known it as a Bass Pro Shop. To be
Are you
honest.
serious?
Yeah, the
Seriously.
Memphis played there.
Kyle, how do you call yourself a Tennessee boy? No.
I'm from Middle Tennessee. I don't give a crap about Memphis.
Dude, yes. Big Show made his debut at the Pyramid.
That's where he came and was at the cage and scared off Steve Austin?
Yes.
Or vice versa?
That was at the Pyramid.
This is Andre's shirt.
Wow.
Wow.
Him and his gloriously long locks.
So Jonathan Coachman, he gets on the ring apron. Bubba rips off his shirt, exposing his extraordinarily long nipples. Wait.
What?
No. He exposes his taped ribs And this happened
Oh,
last
okay.
week on Raw when he got 3D through a table. They go for the "was up" on Jonathan Coachman. Thank you. But Ric Flair, he stops it, and he throws out Bubba. Devon clotheslines Flair, and then in comes Batista. We get a spine buster on Devon through the table. Match is over in 4 minutes, 23 seconds. Kyle, let's start with you. What did you think about the match?
5-star classic match of the night. I gotta say, this is the match I've been waiting for since we started. No, I'm just kidding. It was a fine match. We've seen a lot of openers with the Dudleys, and this has been, I guess, one of the better ones, just because it wasn't just kind of like really slow and plodding and made me go, okay, let's hurry up. And obviously, Rick and Batista did their part well. This is obviously a big thing to kind of get Batista over, and it worked really well. And I thought it was a solid opener. I give it a very, very light thumbs up.
Yeah, I give it a gentle thumbs up. I like the ending because it comes suddenly. Like you wouldn't expect a spine buster to be the finish, but that just puts Batista over that much more. And also there's the backstory that I don't think they mentioned. Him putting Devon through the table, like Batista came in with Reverend Devon as Deacon Batista. And so we got a little comeback putting him through the table there.
The spine buster was nice too.
Yeah, it was nice looking.
I'll say thumbs middle. It's a short match, but it's serviceable, especially that Philly crowd with the Dudley boys. There's one main goal here, and I believe that's to get Batista over. And they succeed in that with him talking trash about beating them numerous times and then being the sole deciding factor in the Dudleys losing here tonight. He's almost like dealing with the kids in the living room, just playing with their toys, and he's like, yeah, keep that noise down, then bam, he puts an end to it. He puts the stamp on it. He wins the match. Nothing great, but thumbs in the middle.
I respect your opinion, Levi.
So post-match, Jonathan Coachman interviews Flair, and Flair, Kyle, what happened?
Flair was just like,
Oh yeah.
like I didn't understand a word of that. Maybe a few in the beginning, but it did not stick. He was very rambly.
I didn't either, but I caught here that he says it was a big win for Evolution. He goes, Evolution forever! Woo! And there you go. We cut backstage to John Cena being interviewed by Josh Matthews. Who, by the way, looks like
freaking
a total idiot.
Dork. Freaking dork.
Jake, run us through. What does Josh Matthews look like here?
He looks like the epitome of that guy. Like he's got this shirt on that's somehow like floral and striped at the same time, and the cuffs are too big, and so they like hang over his hands, and he's got glasses on and they just look doofy, and he's got the spiked bleach blonde hair, and his lips are pushed out, and he's just the human approximation of the sound.
All of those things I agree with. He looks awful, like a big tool bag.
Hate it so much.
For some reason, Kyle thought he looked
bag. Playing devil's advocate. I actually think he looks kind of cool.
Kyle,
no, I'm just kidding. No, he looks so stupid. It's like you could tell he's like a guy, like, he's backstage, and just, somebody's kind of like by the craft service table with him, and he's like, "Hey, you ever heard of Ed Hardy? I mean, they make some pretty cool stuff." It's like, shut up, get out of here.
Love kills slowly.
It's like, hey, Matt, are you related to Ed Hardy? Sure.
Oh my gosh.
Boo!
He's talking to his friends like, yeah, I work with a guy named Matt. He says he knows him.
Like, yeah.
It's like, shut up, Josh. Wrestling's fake.
Get out of here, Josh Matthews.
Fashion's fake. They stomp the mat when they walk down the runway.
So, Kyle, I've sent you the lyrics to this John Cena freestyle here in the backstage of Royal Rumble 2004. Do you want to run us through this one?
You know what? I think I will.
open up his shoes, that's who you got your money on. Bet on anybody else? Yo, your money's gone. I'm the franchise. I don't care if it's SmackDown or WWECW. Sorry, I mean Raw. Keep it official with the Mitchell and Ness, Tug McGraw. Guys, they're baseball players like me. There's 29 other dudes. They can't see me. And tonight, they'll touch my pee-pee. No. That would be on brand, and tonight, the Royal Rumble goes to...
RVD. And RVD comes out.
Marijuana cigarettes.
All right, I'm gonna win the Rumble. See you later, dude.
Man, that dude's a trip. Look like he's been talking to Mary Jane. And he looks at the camera and does a big wink. I'm just kidding. He doesn't. He thinks he beat me tonight. He can suck my candy cane. No. I'm cutting through competition. Your boy's sharp as a knife. Tonight, I win the Royal Rumble. Word mother freaking life.
And that was him clacking his two plastic little knuckle dusters together.
Okay,
I
I'm
like
sorry.
the way he when he brings his wrists together, it's like it looks really dainty and awkward, and like he keeps his pink. Yeah,
He's holding his little pinkies out.
Yeah, it's like weird life forever.
We keep it fancy in the Chain Gang.
Levi, are you gonna say something?
Yeah, like I'm sorry, John Cena. He's cool. He's so over right now. He's over like Rover.
Yeah. He's so hot
But
right
him
now.
saying "mother freaking," I found to be
So
really
lame.
lame. Like Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah,
Right.
I will say that's like overall. I thought this was really good. I love John Cena right now. Freaking never sounds cool. You could have said "mother effing life" and that would have been cooler.
It's
Yeah.
just a silly word, you know, like oh, freaking sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah, freaking never sounds
sweet,
cool.
folks.
Freaking sounds like you're trying to sound cool, and that's the problem with it. It sounds like you want to say the F word, and you want everyone to know you mean the F word, but you don't want to say it. Yeah,
And so by not saying it, you sound lame.
yeah, exactly.
that reminds me. Like real quick, side story. I had my grandpa be like, "Oh yeah, your relative you never talked to said you know you've been saying the F word on Facebook," and I was like, "What? No, I haven't. I never swear on Facebook.
I swear on the
And so-
Ruthless Aggression podcast.
Yeah, I only swear on the Ruthless Aggression podcast. My grandparents don't listen." And I went and checked. I went and checked. I went and scrolled through my most recent posts, and in one post I said the word "freaking." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
You said the F
Like,
word.
don't say those words. Don't say that or the D word. What? Like darn? I said darn. Don't you say that?
My mind went to something else.
Dick?
Oh, you.
Yeah.
Oh, don't say it. Don't say it.
We cut to outside the Wachovia Center and then get a shot of an empty chair at ringside. Jim Ross explains that this seat is reserved for Mick Foley by Sheriff Steve Austin. And why are we saving this seat for Mick Foley, you might ask?
Yeah, why?
Hopefully he's not a coward.
I hope he's not a coward.
When we left off at Armageddon, we discovered that Mick Foley was the cold general manager of Raw, appointed by Linda McMahon. And he was passing around a petition to bring Stone Cold Steve Austin back, which has passed over 1 million signatures.
Ooh.
So an announcement was going to be made regarding Stone Cold the following week on Raw when Mick Foley made a match with him and Randy Orton for the Intercontinental Championship. He also made a match for Shawn Michaels and Triple H for the World Heavyweight title that night, which was one of the greatest matches in Raw history. But they're about to start their match when Mick Foley just leaves. And no one knows why. He's about to leave the arena and Randy Orton catches him. He's like, "Hey, where are you going? You're a coward." And spits in his face. And Foley does nothing. He just walks away. And you don't hear from him for weeks. And so we're hoping to hear from him now. In fact, Randy Orton, he's been putting out these sort of political style ads.
Who is Mick Foley? He claims to be a hardcore legend, but is he really?
Bang, bang!
Mr. Sacco! Say hello to Mr. Sacco!
Is this what hardcore has become? Are these the actions of a legend?
Does mankind know how to throw a little Bordookie or what?
Hardcore?
Isn't that right, Winnie?
Legend? I don't think so. Bang, bang! Here's the face of a true hardcore legend. Randy Orton, a true legend for our time. The proceeding has been paid for by the friends and supporters of Randy Orton.
We're waiting on Mick Foley to come out after weeks of taunting from Randy Orton. Jerry Lawler with a great line says, "I've seen more guts on a skeleton, JR."
Great line.
The presence of another man. There's a stranger in my house. Somebody here that I can't see. A stranger in my house. Somebody here trying to take her away from me.
The next match is a WWE Cruiserweight title match with Mysterio taking on Jamie Noble and Nydia. Or with Nydia. She ain't taking him on, she blind.
Changed into the Zatarans guy there.
Get your Zatarans jambalaya rice.
It's like the most useless impression I can do.
So it's been a couple months, and unfortunately, yes, Nydia is still blind after that horrendous attack from Tajiri. And as we know, the doctors, they speculated that it may be permanent, like Shanique was swelling in her chest.
Permanent?
Oh yeah, voluptuous, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
They do a similar promo where Nydia's just like, this blindness may be permanent, and Jamie Noble's like,
oh yeah, no vision, yeah. Yeah.
She pops out her eyes like those dudes in the Guinness World Record books, and they're just kind of squeezing her eyeball.
oh my God.
I would love that.
Oh man.
I love when Levi like laughs super hard at his own jokes.
Levi tickles himself is the best part of the podcast.
It's so funny, Levi. You're precious, honey.
Jeez, thanks, Mama.
Thanks, Mommy.
Bless your heart.
Bless your fart.
Get it?
You know, you hate to see it, but as of late, Jamie Noble, Nydia's boyfriend, has been using Nydia.
What?
Yes. He's been using her He's been using her blindness to his advantage in matches. He willingly puts her in harm's way to get over his opponents.
No.
It's true. It's true. I hate to say it. I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Please tell me you're lying. I do not want to believe it's about.
Listen,
he seems like such a nice guy that you could just meet at like a roadside truck stop.
I saw it with my own eyes, man.
Yeah, well, actually, it was a gas station in the middle of Nashville.
But, you know, this has worked well for him for the most part, but Nydia not so much. So Rey Mysterio has actually looked out for her in recent weeks on SmackDown, much to the chagrin of Jamie Noble, which brings us here. Rey recently won the Cruiserweight Championship back from Tajiri on the New Year's edition of SmackDown, which prompted the Big Show, out of all people, to interrupt Rey's victory speech for absolutely no reason other than to promote his new Chicks Dig It Big t-shirt. To which he says, he's covering up, I won't be able to bring this up again, so here we go. Big Show, he comes out with his shirt, holds it up, and it's covering Rey Mysterio. And he's like, Chicks Dig It Big. That's one of them there innuendos.
What you're looking at is the newest piece of Big Show merchandise. Hold on a second, buddy. Now, you notice the front says Chicks Dig It Big. That's one of them there innuendos. You know what I'm saying? No, that's a good idea. I'll show them the back too. Now see on the back, it says, and it just don't get any bigger than this. Okay, that's one of them innuendos too. See, a kind of little play on words. Now you'll notice the size of this shirt. I took into consideration that not all of you are finely tuned athletes like myself, as in shape as myself, and as some of you out there are, well, kind of fat. So I figure, why shouldn't you have a piece of WWE merchandise yourself? So don't be the only fan in town that doesn't have the hottest shirt on the market right now, and that's the Big Show's Chicks Dig It Big shirt. Make sure you get yours. We have them in extra large, all the way up to 3X, just for some of you fans that are a little, well, overweight. That's all I'm saying.
You get it? It's like I'm talking about my penis, but I'm a large man.
And we all know from Val Venus in that GTV sketch that they call you the Big Show.
I got the Big Show for you right here.
And he actually shows his penis on pay-per-view.
Choppy, choppy, pee-pee.
So there's not a whole lot I can say about this match. But here we go. Ray gets started with a Hurricanrana, or a Hurricanrana. But Noble fights it off. He suplexes Ray's stomach first on the top rope. Noble was near the ropes, and Nydia grabs Jamie's leg, and he's like, "What you doing, baby?" Which allows Ray to drop kick him in the back and set up for the 619. He hits it, springboard leg drop to the back of the head, and the pin for the win. Match was 3 minutes long. Jake, what did you think about this match?
This match existed. I mean, it didn't really do much for either guy. I mean, it just kind of pushes along the story of Jamie Noble abusing his girlfriend. It is what it is. Just kind of happened. Thumbs in the middle.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't bad. I think Rey Mysterio and Jamie Noble both really talented. It's just they didn't have much time, and the story's goofy, so it's not like it was the most engrossing thing. I definitely say thumbs middle. Nydia, though, she deserves an Oscar for her performance.
Like, also, why not have Jamie Noble beat Tajiri here for the title, and then have this be a heel turn, and be like, have him use Nydia's blindness to his advantage now, and instead of having him, because when something bad like that happens to somebody, like, that's an automatic face thing. Like, the bad guy shouldn't be the one with the disadvantage going into the championship match. Like, he should be the one with all the cards in his hand. So why not have Tajiri like be the guy who's like, oh, I spit in your girlfriend's face and now she can't see shit, and then have her be the reason he loses. So once again, the end hangs on the beginning. And then at that point, Jamie Noble's like, hey baby, you can start cheating for me every week. I like it like that. Yeah.
All I can figure is it's supposed to kind of be a way for Jamie Noble to look like an absolute terrible person even more, and just get Nydia over for, like, I guess an eventual split. I don't know.
I guess.
But
yeah,
it's like,
what else could it be?
Oh yeah, I want that Nydia singles run. I don't really think anyone's saying that though.
Put the strap on Nydia.
Nydia's been a very fun valet, but I couldn't see myself like dying to see her in a title position. Thumbs middle.
I also say thumbs middle. We got some fast, fun action, but it was way too short to be taken seriously. A lot like Ray's world title reign.
Oh, shots fired.
Much like Ray himself.
Oh, come on. That is just not accurate, folks.
I'm gonna throw up. It's gross.
We get a commercial for WWE Originals. Kyle's favorite album.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Kyle and I recently reviewed that album, so go check it out in our WWE Originals review. I do want to say about this that they showed the midnight release of this album on an episode of Raw where people are standing in line for this CD.
No.
Yes, they interviewed a fan with a replica belt because of course they do.
Yeah, of course.
And he says, "Woo, wouldn't miss it for the world."
I want to put a little ass on it. Yeah.
Listeners, imagine standing in line for this and then playing it on the way home after midnight with all that buyer's remorse setting in alongside maybe the regret of staying up too late and perhaps even more so having to go into work the next morning. And you're saying, should I call in? You know, I stayed up pretty late for this and now I need something to redeem here. I can't. I'm glad this wasn't me.
Yeah.
I'm glad
it's
I'm
not
glad
a good look.
I'm glad I missed it for the world.
Yes.
Don't drink that beer. You better drink that beer, Jim Johnson.
We got to Taz and Michael Cole at ringside. Cole made this comment on SmackDown, but once again he says, one of the most interesting songs on the album is the one performed by Eddie and Chavo, obviously performed in happier times. And I say, how does that make it interesting? Because it's a pretty bad song.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, 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 dun.
Nice chorus, though.
Yes, I will absolutely give it that. But to hear my full thoughts, go listen to our review.
Go check it out.
It's a family. As Eddie Guerrero takes on Chavo Guerrero with Chavo Classic in his corner.
Viva la raza! Los Guerreros in the house! The tag team champions! I love you,
You love me, Hulk!
Latino heat! It's on fire, baby!
You feeling a little froggy, Holmes?
It's Eddie and Chavo! Viva la raza!
Este vato, man.
Eddie and Chavo are one of the greatest teams in SmackDown history! Tag team champions look extremely pumped up here.
This may not be the night for the Bastions going to action against Los Guerreros. And wait a minute!
Illegal switch by the Bastions. Heads up, Eddie, watch the nightstick!
Eddie went for the frog splash, rolled through it.
Oh my
Nightstick
God.
to the skull! The Bastions are going to steal
Not
the
like
tag
this,
team
no.
titles!
Ah.
The Bastions steal the titles!
Why'd you do this to me, man? You lose the WWE Tag Team Championship. That's not just yours, that's half mine, man. You make me sick. I can't even look at you, man.
Órale, chavito. Pues órale, man. I'm sorry, ese vato.
Who's the one that lost our titles?
I let you down, chavo.
Who's the one that got pinned out there?
I let my familia down.
It's not about Eddie.
I give my heart out here.
How selfish can you be?
And if that is not what I have done lately, I apologize.
This is not about Eddie all the time, bro.
I know this is none of my business, but I'll be damned if I stand here and let one of the greatest tag teams of all times self-destruct. Now listen, Chavo, I know I said last week that it was Eddie's fault, but don't you think you crossed the line just a little bit when you slapped Eddie?
I'm sick of you. You want me to apologize to Eddie? If Eddie was in this ring right now, I'd slap him in the face even harder.
We're gonna sell this thing tonight. Eddie, I want you to reach deep inside yourself, and I want you to do the right thing right here. Come on, Eddie.
The following contest is for the WWE Tag Team Championship. This match may be exactly what the doctor ordered to help repair the fragile relationship with Chavo and Eddie. Chavo up over the top, trying to roll through. Don't bash him. Shoulders down. Don't bash him. Win. Boom. And Chavo knocked out of the ring. Eddie Guerrero coming to his nephew's aid. And now the assault on Eddie Guerrero. Right now, Chavo grabbing a steel chair because Uncle Eddie Guerrero's in trouble. Eddie,
don't think Eddie has any idea that Chavo was sitting outside watching the assault. At least help him up, for God's sake.
Let's see.
Oh, my God!
And now Eddie's nephew beat the hell out of his uncle.
In the name of the Guerrero family, stop this! Chavo Guerrero has spilled the blood of his own family.
How you doing, man? You all right? Listen, I have some great news, though. I was told it was you versus Chavo at the Royal Rumble.
But your uncle! Don't hurt him! He's your own flesh and blood! How could you?
Chavo Guerrero betrayed his uncle. He turned his back on his uncle Eddie Guerrero, and then he got his father involved.
You made me see the light! You have no idea what it's like to work your ass off and be held down by a member of your own family? I want to see myself kick Chavito's ass! ¡Le voy a dar en la madre a ese güey!
So this is kind of a long one, so buckle up for this venture on the Ruthless roller coaster. Since Survivor Series of 03, the Guerreros have been off. The Bashams, in the lead up to their match around that time, successfully got into their heads by playing on real emotions that Chavo had. You know, even after their feud, these feelings of jealousy and resentment towards his uncle, they only grew within Chavo. On an episode of SmackDown, in which Ray wins the Cruiserweight Championship, as we already mentioned, Eddie is backstage congratulating Ray while also announcing his desire to enter the Royal Rumble match. And Chavo, he takes exception to this and tells Eddie he only thinks about himself. Chavo, he gets upset about many things like this, including, for instance, never getting to drive the lowrider to the ring.
What? Who cares? This is the I want to be player one complaint.
It's like that episode
100%.
of SpongeBob where Barnacle Boy wanted to be called Barnacle Man and they turned evil.
Which stands for every villain is lemon.
Is lemon. Or evil.
So stupid.
Sorry. I just watched that episode the other night.
Clearly. But yes, it is definitely the you're always player one. I want to be the good controller.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's contentious about these things. And Eddie, you know, to his credit, he tries his darndest to oblige each time. He lets him drive. He goes above and beyond in their matches. But even then, if Eddie is leading the team in offense, Chavo takes exception. Kind of like Donovan McNabb and those Philadelphia Eagles folks.
Oh, boo!
Get out of there again.
Kurt Angle, for some strange reason, gets involved in the feud. He plays a peacemaker role because he doesn't want to see a legendary wrestling family get torn apart. That's his reason that he cites. Michael Cole on commentary each week cites Angle's positive family-oriented values. Real life reason being Kurt just came off yet another neck surgery that had him sidelined for several weeks, so this keeps him busy in a non-physical role. Angle convinces Eddie after on SmackDown, in which Chavo slaps him in the face and they want to fight. Kurt convinces Eddie that maybe you are selfish. Chavo is right.
You are ugly.
And if you want to see what the problem is, look in the mirror. So, geez, Eddie's just taking it from all angles, no pun intended.
Ooh. I see what you did there.
The following week on SmackDown, Kurt convinces the two to try and work out their differences. The two reluctantly shake hands, and that same night, wrestle the Bashams for the WWE Tag Team Championships.
Oh, yeah.
After some cheating by the Bashams, Los Guerreros lose with Chavo eating yet another pin. Post-match, the Bashams lay the beat down on Eddie, and it looks like Chavo's going to make the save, but he takes this chair, you think he's going to run in the ring, and he just sits on it. He uses the chair for its intended purposes.
Weird.
He watches his Uncle Eddie get beat down.
Unbelievable.
I'm angry now.
And when they're done, Chavo, he goes in there, and Eddie thinks, he's going to help him, so he, lets him assist him picking him up. And then he beats down on Eddie. Chavo beats on his injured uncle. And Michael Cole on commentary can be heard, "In the name of the Guerrero family, stop this!"
Stop.
This is so cringy. But yeah, he draws blood from his own blood. The following week, Kurt informs Eddie, Kurt, he apologizes for everything. He's like, "This is my fault. I'm sorry." The next week, Kurt informs Eddie that Chavo's father, Chavo Guerrero Sr., is at SmackDown. Kurt also informs Eddie he will have a match with Chavo at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and he's kind of excited about it. He says, "You finally get to lay your hands on Chavo." But as we see this whole time, and now, Eddie is reluctant to do so because family. He's like, "Oh yeah, you think I wanna go in there and beat up on my blood? That's my blood. I can't do it." He doesn't want to do it. That's his family. Like Chavo, he's going through something obviously, but Eddie, that's his family. He's got his back. Even still, he's jaded. He's been disrespected, but that is the story. We find that it's all an elaborate ruse as Senior attacks Eddie from behind with both Chavos attacking Eddie. Kurt, he makes the save, and that sets up for a tag match. And we find out later on that SmackDown that Eddie is now more than excited to get his hands on his family.
No, do it. I'm ripping his head off, and I'm going to use it for a soccer ball, and I'm going to kick it through the goalpost. That's what he said.
So how will a deep down conflicted Eddie handle a match with a jaded Chavo Guerrero Jr.? Let's find out. One thing I do want to note about the pre-match package, though.
Yeah.
Eddie makes this comment that just seems so, haunting. And he says, "I gave you my heart, but it wasn't enough." Or something like that. And I'm just like, oh, just all things considered. Such a creepy line.
What more do you want?
He looks at the camera and goes, "November 2005.
Oh my gosh.
Talking like nothing happened. That scared me when he did that. I was like, why did you do that?
The creepy thing is, that's not the first time that's happened. Because I remember watching on my WrestleMania 19 DVD when we reviewed that way back when. They're showing this B-roll footage with the announcer. He's talking over it. The guy they get to do the dramatic readings every time. And, that's Big Show walking through a hallway and Edge in the stands or whatever. And he goes, "Someday we will die." And they show Eddie Guerrero. It's like, what? What did you know?
And it's him screaming like, "No!"
And gosh, another example I have is the Cheating Death, Stealing Life documentary they did on Eddie, which A1, we may review that someday. We may do that as a bonus. But his sister is recalling the night Eddie went out for a drive and was high as a kite and crashed. And, he should have been dead. His career at least should have been ended. But she makes the comment, "I don't want to see Eddie die before his time." And then a year later, it's so haunting.
Mm-hmm.
But we will get more into that over time, and I'll just leave it at that. But I just thought, man, that Eddie saying those words are just so haunting. But anyway, let's get started here. So Chavo, he comes out with his father, Chavo Sr., not yet Chavo Classic. And Eddie, he comes out with a new haircut. What'd you guys think? I think this is the definitive Eddie Guerrero main event look. He looks great.
Same, yeah.
Yeah,
a lot better than that. A lot better than the old mullet.
Yeah, it's time for a change, and it's time for Eddie to level up. And so, best way to do it is to change your look just a little bit.
The only thing about it that's hard to look at with Eddie is all his dang chest acne and back acne. It's sad.
Yeah, acne's out of control.
If it was just a cosmetic thing, that would be one thing and that I could look past. But, standard definition, you don't see these things in 720p or whatever it is. You can see these things a lot more, and it just makes me sad just knowing what Eddie was going through.
Yeah, I mean, especially because, knowing what the eventual cause of death ends up being, it becomes a double whammy at that point because you can see it happening right in front of you.
All right. Chavo sneaks out of the ring before the bell. We get huge Eddie chants to start, which sounds like what, Jake?
Eddie.
Yes, that was a good Eddie chant. Thank you. The story has been well told up to this point, I believe. We get a hard lockup to start. They break up eventually. And then Chavo slaps Eddie right in the face. Eddie drives him into the corner. They're kerfuffling, so Nick Patrick makes him break it up. Eddie grabs an armbar and then a tight headlock. Chavo pushes Eddie into the corner and gets a big chop on him. Another lockup, this time Eddie wins it and gets a huge chop to him. Eddie whips him in.
Do you still think, I mean, at this point, do you still sense that Eddie is trying to hold back a little bit?
I think so. That may be the power of hindsight. You know, because as I'm reading this, it's like wrestling move that Eddie does, and then Chavo does chop or a slap or a punch.
Right.
You know? So maybe in hindsight, but, you know, these things will become more evident as we go on. But did you pick up on that to begin with?
No, I like, as I'm listening to you recap it, I'm like, it kind of sounds like he's working a very face style and he's not I lie, I cheat, I steal, you know?
Right. So Eddie whips him in. Chavo gets a shoulder knockdown and then another. They exchange chops. We get a thumb to the eye for Eddie. Eddie's reluctant to punch Chavo in the face, and so we're still telling that story about how he doesn't want to lash out on his family. He wants to
so there it is, yeah.
He wants to out-wrestle him. Eddie grabs an armbar on the mat. Chavo leaps and gets a hurricanrana that sends them both to the floor, going over the top rope. Eddie tries to climb up the steps. Chavo Sr. trips him down, getting Chavo the brief advantage. Chavo Jr. throws Eddie headfirst into the announce table. He throws Eddie back into the ring and pounds Eddie right in the face. Eddie gets him in a mounted position, but he won't throw a punch. And I forget in the match where this is said, but Michael Cole, he starts going into this weird factoid saying Chavo was a spoiled brat growing up. Whenever they'd get into trouble, Eddie always took the blame. I'm sorry, sir. Where did you acquire this information?
Yeah, seriously.
I hate that stuff. It's like we already get that they're mad at each other. Like we already have enough reason to feel invested. Like don't try to add more. It's not going to do anything. They're fighting as you speak.
It doesn't even make sense. Why didn't they have these issues before? Why are they just now coming out for those reasons? Like, was he a brat when he was hanging around Eddie, stealing stuff, lying, cheating, and stealing all that? They're, you know, by that standard, none of them are upstanding citizens. They're bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, Chavo takes him down and throws some more punches. Eddie gets in an armbar on Chavo as Chavo is trying to punch at him. Chavo gets to the ropes. Chavo gets a back suplex, goes for the pin, but it's only good for 2.
Chav, no.
Chavo goes for the 3 amigos, stealing Eddie's moves. However, Eddie gets out on the second one. He shoves Chavo into the corner. Swinging DDT by Chavo is blocked by Eddie. We get a headbutt by Eddie. Another headbutt. And at that point, I was like, wow, Eddie's starting playing a little dirty. And Taz says, Eddie playing a little dirty now. And it reaffirmed my feelings. So good job on Taz there.
You started screaming like, oh my God, Taz.
So Eddie, he goes for the 3 amigos and lands all 3 of them. Goes to the top and hits the frog splash for the 3 in 8 minutes and 3 seconds. And I'll go first here. I'll say thumbs middle. Something was missing from this match, and I just can't put my finger on it. And I'm thinking that if perhaps they had more time to go, it would have been better. But it was okay. But something was missing.
Yeah, it was all right. I've seen them both do better as singles competitors and as a tag team. It almost makes me wonder, thinking about it, like reflecting more. Like, do you think they could have been a little reluctant to do this match, just personally? But you know, they're just nice, so of course they do it.
Oh no, I think they're they're overly dedicated, especially Eddie, to make sure it's the best that it could be.
Fair enough. I guess tonight he was just like, I don't feel like it.
All my thoughts on this match are about the post or the after match. So
we'll share Jake and then run us through.
Well, for me, yeah, this match is thumbs in the middle. But like after the match, like Chavo comes in, tries to get a quick one over on Eddie, and Eddie's like, "No, not today!" Boom, right in the gob, knocks him down, and then like he drags a bleeding Chavo over by the nose and face, which is supposed to look brutal, but to me it didn't look good because it clearly requires a lot of cooperation to make that work. Like if he had him on his back and pulled him, for some reason that would have looked better to me, but pulling him over on his stomach just didn't work. And then he ties Chavo Sr. to the bottom rope with his tie, does not do anything to his hands or anything. So the entire time this post match is going on, there's nothing but he's just sitting there holding his tie like, "Oh no, I can't do anything. I'm so helpless. I'm the most worthless guy ever." I don't like the post match. The post match brings this match down for me, and it was already at thumbs middle.
Yeah, post match was terrible and confusing and weird. It's like it was just dumb and unneeded, and it went on for so long. Like not even the crowd was into it. They're just so dead for all this.
Yeah, I think they were trying to have that moment where Eddie finally gets his comeuppance, but as it went on, it was gruesome. Like it wasn't just, hit your finisher or something. It was Eddie putting his fingers in Chavo's eye sockets and dragging him across the ring. And
yeah,
one line that was confusing though was Chavo saying, "What are you doing? That's your kid." It's like, no, it's not. That's your kid.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But when you guys put it that way, it's hard to disagree because it's just too gruesome. It's too much. And I think that's reflected in the crowd's silence at this. There was no big reaction, and they loved Eddie. They chanted for Eddie.
Right.
But this was too much. We got backstage with Josh Matthews and Chris Benoit. It's the typical Royal Rumble interview. I'm going to go through 29 guys. And Ric Flair, Batista, and Randy Orton interrupt all of them. Flair, he's got champagne. And he's saying that, "Chris Benoit, you may be one of the best techno wrestlers in the world, but you can't get the job done. You can't win the big one, Chris Benoit." Flair, he says it's about evolution. And he tosses some champagne on Josh Matthews. And Benoit,
it gets it in his own eyes too. Like that's one thing that I had heard is that he can't see in this moment while he's cutting this promo in Benoit's face. He doesn't know actually how close to him he is.
That was so funny because it's like it's so blatantly hits himself in the eyes, and he's trying to power through it. Like you can see him like open them as much as he can, but it looks so uncomfortable.
Hey everybody, we'll be back with more Ruthless content.
We gotta pay some bills.
Heroes, the city is under attack. We need your help.
It's time for some new heroes. Sonic Heroes. 12 heroes, 4 teams, one new game that never gets old. Premiering on Nintendo GameCube. Rated E for everyone.
GameCube.
Remember when we were kids and I used to have those blackouts? Well, some of those memories have been coming back to me.
There are moments in life we choose to remember.
Do you think that we'll be together forever?
And some memories we can never forget.
All I know is that by reading these journals, I might be able to get Kaylee back.
I'd think twice about what you're doing. You could wake up a lot more messed up than you are now.
I haven't seen results like this before.
But what if you could go back in time?
You are completely relaxed. Think of it like a movie. You can pause, rewind, or slow down.
Could you save the one person that mattered the most?
Honey, are you all right?
You. Incredible. I lost you once, and I'm not losing you again.
Evan, you never lost me. What are you talking about?
You got a nice life.
You stay away from us.
It's been a while since I could.
What about Kaylee? Is she all right? If I go back to the beginning, I might be able to save her. Just tell me if you see anything weird. Weirder than this. Kaylee, that you were happy once. With me.
Why don't you go back and save me?
How are you doing this? You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
You can't change who people are without destroying who they were.
Every time I try to go back in time and help someone, everything just goes wrong.
Oh my God, what did we do?
You can't play God.
The butterfly effect.
Pepsi Blue, a new fusion of berry and cola. Pepsi Blue, it's the mix.
Turn on your light, and they'll see you. You make a sound, and they'll hear you. If you think it's scary being lost, just wait till you're found. Silent Hill 3, rated M for mature, from Konami.
You want something done right, do it yourself. WWE Originals, 17 original tracks, featuring Chris Jericho, Stacy Keibler, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, and many more of your favorite WWE superstars. Pick up your copy and receive a bonus 30-minute DVD with special footage of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
On the count of 3, I want y'all to get it. 1, 2, 3, can you dig it?
Why not jazz up dinner tonight with Zatarans? You snazz it up. Jazz up, tazz it up. In New Orleans, we jazz it up. All kinds of ways with Zatarans. Black bean, red bean, and rice it up. Jambalaya, spice it up. Gumbo, dirty rice it up. Jazz it up with Zatarans. With Zatarans, you speed it up. Your family will eat it up. So many ways to jazz it up with Zatarans. Yeah, dinners from New Orleans.
Heavyweight title match as Brock Lesnar takes on
Hardcore Holly.
There is no fear. There is no intimidation for Hardcore Holly. He wants Lesnar. Hardcore Holly all over Brock Lesnar. Here's the fight, man. Here's the fight. Brock, no! Brock, no!
That might be the end of it, man. Hardcore landed high and tight.
Brock, you broke my neck.
You took 12 months of my life.
But you made one big mistake.
You didn't finish the job.
Wait a minute! Whoa, whoa! That's Hardcore Holly! Hardcore Holly is back with a vengeance!
Brock, I'm not coming back to wrestle, and I'm not coming back to fight.
I'm coming back to end your fucking career.
Hardcore Holly hammered away on Brock Lesnar, and Holly hell-bent on getting retribution tonight. Hardcore is one of the most confrontational men I've ever met in my life. He don't back down from no one. Hardcore Holly has completely lost it. Hardcore, he's getting some of Lesnar now. It was Brock Lesnar who broke Hardcore Holly's neck a year ago, and Holly vows to make Lesnar pay. We got business to finish.
I'm gonna do to him what he did to me.
Can Holly survive the animal Brock Lesnar for the WWE title at the Royal Rumble?
Brock, I'm gonna break your neck. I know. It's like when I saw this, I was like, wait, really?
Over a year ago, Brock Lesnar broke a mid-carder's neck for sandbagging him, and now he seeks his revenge.
Oh, why don't I just get everyone up in there and I'll beat him?
I will say this. They booked Hardcore Holly pretty strong for this, to their credit. He choked out Big Show with a chair, which saw him wearing a neck brace each week, and he actually put a restraining order on Hardcore Holly because he's terrified of Sparky Plug, which also sees Lesnar hanging around Big Show because Lesnar's terrified of him too. They're just terrified of Hardcore Holly, these big gargantuan men. It almost, well, not almost, it doesn't make sense. It does, but
Dude,
it doesn't.
He's hardcore. It's in his name. He'll do nothing until he gets that win.
With all this hype around Hardcore Holly, can he live up to it and hang in a main event?
No.
Let's find out.
No.
So Holly is out first. He gets a very mild reaction. And then Lesnar comes out.
For Holly, I guess. All right.
And then Lesnar, the heel, he comes out and gets a big reaction. There you go. It's said for you right there. Holly jumps on Lesnar after his pyro. Lesnar tries for the F5, but Holly pounds away at him. Holly goes up top. Shoulder block is missed as Brock moves out of the way. Seems like a pretty good defensive tactic, honestly. Lesnar kicks him when he's down. We get a suplex by Lesnar, and then they go out to the floor. Oh, come on, folks. Was that necessary?
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Kyle Fart Noise Douglas.
I got nothing else to add to this match. It wasn't good. Spoiler alert.
Nothing happening.
We got to the floor, and Lesnar drives Hardcore Holly back first into the east side of the ring, which we all know is the hardest part of the ring.
Oh, naturally.
We get back in.
Stomp your foot there.
We get back in. He goes for the pin, but it's only good for 2. So Lesnar, he transitions into a bear hug on the mat, which is pretty much everything going on here. He starts hammering on Hardcore Holly's rib area, the rib cage. Delayed Fisherman's Buster for Lesnar, goes for the pin, but only gets 2. We get another gut wrench on the ground, and the crowd is absolutely dead.
They do not care.
They start chanting, "We don't care! We don't care!"
It may as well have.
I wish. That would be so funny.
Hardcore Holly fights out with some punches. He comes off the ropes, and Lesnar hits a very sharp overhead belly-to-belly suplex. On the mat, Lesnar grapevines the waist with his legs and wraps his arms around Holly's neck. The crowd is still very quiet. Hardcore Holly fights out with back elbows. Lesnar whips him into the turnbuckle. Clothesline for Holly doesn't knock Lesnar down. Another clothesline, though, does knock the Beast Incarnate down.
Oh.
We get a drop kick, and then Alabama Slam by Hardcore Holly. Hardcore Holly does not pin, though. He instead opts... Oh, Larry the Cable Guy, welcome to the show.
Hey there, guys. I love Alabama. You're done.
Hey, are you from Alabama?
No, I'm from Wisconsin, I believe.
This isn't even my real accent. Hi.
Oh, gosh. Larry the college scholar.
Hennig.
I wasn't lying. That's actually true. He's not from the South. He doesn't have an accent.
Yeah, he's a big old phony.
Hey, you're just a big phony.
Well, get out of here, Larry the Cable Guy.
Bye.
You might be a redneck if. Okay, so
no.
Hardcore Holly, he doesn't go for the pin, but instead opts for the full Nelson because he's trying to break Brock Lesnar's neck. But they never really conveyed that point well enough on SmackDown or now. This doesn't break your neck, I don't think. Like, Jake and I were talking about this at some point, and he came to the conclusion that the full Nelson does not look devastating. But, like,
really
it's one of those moves that, you put your friends in it. I remember us doing this at school back in, like, 6th grade when Chris Masters was a thing and with the Master Lock Challenge.
Yeah, the Master Lock. I don't see how you'd break a neck with it, though.
It chokes you out.
Yeah, but it's more like, I don't know, it's dumb.
It doesn't break your neck. Like, what the heck? I didn't mean for that to rhyme. Anyway. So, anyway, he gets him in the full Nelson. Brock, he gets to the ropes, and they roll out still in the hold. Holly finally breaks it and then goes back in. They're on the apron, and we get another full Nelson, but this time Lesnar drops down so that Holly's neck snaps back. Holly charges at him. Brock gets him in the F5, and the match is over in 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's about 6 minutes too long.
Yep.
Jake, let's start with you. What'd you think?
Thumbs did down. Brother sucks.
Oh, gosh. Oh, wow.
Brother sucks.
So you expected this to be better?
I did. Well, I expect more out of a championship match.
Well, explain.
I mean, if this is a championship, part of it is you need to elevate the belt, which means you need to have credible challengers to the belt. Otherwise, you just have a champion who's beating people up. In this point, with Brock Lesnar and Hard Snore Holly, all we're doing is trying to rehash an angle for something. We're trying to bring reality into our storytelling, which we really don't need. There's enough people on SmackDown right now that we can throw up against Brock Lesnar and make him look like a beast. This is supposed to be a tentpole event. Don't bring out Hardcore Holly. He doesn't have Crash with him, or Molly, who is she a virgin? I don't know. But we're gonna Hardcore Holly. Absolutely terrible. As he's supposed to be the babyface, he's got nothing going for him. He looks like a dumpster, and he's boring and bland and crappy. His finishing move is the Alabama Slam, where all he does is throw you to the mat by your feet. No, get out of here, Hardcore Holly. You aren't cool because you aren't carrying the big old heavy measuring things with the scale, so we know that you're well over 400 pounds.
I love that big heavy measuring thing.
That was such a good gimmick. You aren't that anymore. Even though you're trying to be that, you aren't that anymore. You don't have my boy Elroy alongside you, and you're terrible. You're boring, you're solid, but you're terrible.
Ruthless aggression, nuclear heat. Hardcore Holly is coming for Jake.
He just might. I'll go. Thumbs down. Several things wrong here. This shows Holly doesn't belong in the main event picture. Never has, never will. The issue with him, and even people like Billy Gunn and Val Venus, for example, they're the exact same character as they were in 1999. It's not 1999 anymore. We're in a completely new era. If Holly changed his look and his attire, he may have gotten just a bit more over.
Like Eddie, change your look just a little bit.
Like, he comes out with the same song, same this, same that, but you look like a mid-carder, sound like a mid-carder, you must be a mid-carder.
I'm going to say it is my my match of the night. I thought it was really well paced. I thought no, I'm just kidding. It sucked. Thumbs down. I won't go as far as to say Brother sucks because it didn't offend me with how bad it was, but it was just how is this necessary? It's like, what? I don't know. It's dumb. It's just a dumb thing from start to finish.
They realized
Get out of here, Hardcore Holly.
And they had to defend the title, and then they're like, oh well, they started with the end and then worked their way back from there. They're like, Brock Lesnar wins. Okay, but against who? The Hardcore Holly. How about that? That he's not in the.
I don't know.
So one thing I want to note here is that Hardcore Holly says this is something that held his career back because apparently their match was cut short to give more time to Triple H and Shawn Michaels. And without giving too much away, the right decision was made. I'll say that. But he harbors...
Your talent is what held you back.
He harbors resentment towards Triple H for it. Like, it couldn't have anything to do with the fact that you're boring and that nobody likes you. It's definitely Triple H taking your time. But yeah,
we believe what we choose to believe.
I would recommend anybody read the Hardcore Truth, Hardcore Holly's memoirs. At least listen to a podcast about it. Lapsed Fan, they did a pretty good job covering it. And Attitude Era podcast, they did a good job covering it. The book is just filled with the blame game of like whose fault it is that Hardcore Holly didn't break out as a main event star.
Everybody but me.
In fact, I was listening to Grilling JR recently, and they were covering the career of Umaga. And they were, they got to the Battle of the Billionaires. They got to the Battle of the Billionaires, and Hardcore Holly in his book notes that he was supposed to be representing Vince McMahon in that match, not Umaga.
No.
So it was supposed to be Hardcore Holly versus Bobby Lashley. Conrad's like, JR, is that true? He's like, I don't remember that. So there you go. Embarrassing, dude. So embarrassing. He thought he was supposed to be the next ECW champion. He's supposed to be getting world title shots, mid-card title shots. He thought he was the bee's knees, just waiting for that next push.
Push. Everyone talking about their push.
But it's like any wrestling fan will tell you, oh gosh, Hardcore Holly, bathroom break. So, but I will say, giving credit where it's due, they did their best to put this match over in the writing of this and the structure and everything. And they came like so close to figuring it out for Hardcore Holly. But, if he looks just like he did in 1999, then it's not going to work. And, well, it didn't. And he's pushing 40. He's no spring chicken, folks. So anyway, we cut backstage to Triple H getting taped up for his big last man standing match. They cut to a shot of Shawn Michaels also in the back, and he's praying. This is a big one, folks.
He's like, please let us outdo that amazing Hardcore Holly match.
He's like, Lord, if it be your will, make me a better foil than Hardcore Holly.
It's a world heavyweight last man standing match. As world heavyweight champion, Triple H takes on the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Back in 1997, 1998, you two were the best of friends, forming one of the greatest groups ever in the history of the WWE.
Generation X rules the wrestling world.
Shawn Michaels and Triple H, they're closer than a lot of brothers.
Shawn, I considered you a brother, and you never considered me anything but an underling. I was your sidekick, right?
Who is the showstopper? Me.
But I was never a sidekick to you. I was more like your kickstand. I was the one that held you up when you couldn't stand up anymore on your own.
I think Shawn is hurt. I think he's hurt bad.
When I went down with a broken back Yeah, I grabbed the wagon, and yeah, I started to drag it, but I've been dragging it all along. Just finally, you weren't around to stand in my way.
What do you want to hear? That all the success that you all had while I was gone didn't bother me?
Sean, it burned a hole in you so bad that what, 4 years later it had eaten you up so damn bad that you finally had to come back, that you had to drag your broken ass out of bed and you had to come back here?
Will it be? Can it be? Yes! HBK! My God, HBK!
I proved after 4 years that still I was better than you.
You beat me. But who walked out of the ring, Sean, huh?
Oh my God! God almighty! Triple H hit Shawn Michaels! Get that away from me! That hammer away!
I was standing on my feet while you were taking a ride in an ambulance. I was the last man standing that night. The Royal Rumble. I'll be the last man standing again.
So it goes with Triple H and HBK.
Triple H is going to defend the World's Heavyweight Championship against Shawn Michaels.
This will be a last man standing match.
You literally got to beat your opponent senseless, or that opponent cannot stand up before a 10 count.
The only thing that's going to make the difference is 1 second.
In that 1 second, I will prove that I am the best.
1 second to you and me could last eternity. But in reality, it's here 1 second. And it's gone the next.
Shawn Michaels in the game.
Last man standing.
We've reached that level, haven't we?
Between you and me, it's always been about one thing, and that's who's the best.
The only thing that's going to make the difference is 1 second.
So we get a video package, and I quite liked it. It's retelling everything that's happened, how they in the past they used to be friends. D-Generation X, oh man, tight as glue, so close. And then the present. It's not much of a present here, folks. The present is not a present. It's awful. It's chaos and war and all that.
Oh my gosh!
And I was watching the DVD version, and they have Future. I don't know if you guys saw this on the network, but they say it says Future on the screen, and they cut to Saudi Arabia, and there's like 4 old men with an American flag there.
Oh, weird! No, I didn't see that.
I don't know what that
I
was
did not
about.
remember seeing that.
They're
just dripping with oil.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, but yeah, there you go. I don't know what that means, but anyway. On the final Raw of 2003, Shawn Michaels came microscopically close to winning the World Heavyweight Championship from Triple H. The difference came in how he pinned the game. Sweet Chin Music, followed by covering Triple H with his back, made the match result in a draw. Shawn kind of fell over from exhaustion after Sweet Chin Music with his back covering Triple H, and his shoulders were touching the mat. So all 4 men's shoulders to the mat. Eric Bischoff's actually out there because the refs are down. And to his credit, he called that match down the middle. And he counts to 3. And he gets on the microphone. You think Shawn Michaels won, obviously, but he gets on the mic and says, "And still World Heavyweight Champion, Triple H." And they're like, "What the heck?" And he's like, "Shawn, you know as well as I do that when all shoulders are on the mat, it results in a draw." Eric, he actually makes sort of a snide remark towards him, and he says, "You haven't really been on much of a winning streak lately." And Shawn decks him right in the face.
Ooh, take that.
So Eric Bischoff, he fires him and wishes him a happy new year. But shortly after this, in the same night, Stone Cold comes out, and he has been reappointed as the sheriff of Monday Night Raw. This happened because after Foley's camp,
it's so dumb.
He has he always points his fingers like a little gun, like "Pow pow, I'm the sheriff."
He came pretty close, I'm pretty sure. This happens after Foley's campaign to bring Stone Cold back got over 1 million signatures. the WWE executives come up with the perfect plan of making Stone Cold the sheriff of Raw, in which he rides around on his ATV, he wears a little bitty sheriff badge, and and he enforces the law, which is tantamount to beating up people and correcting Eric Bischoff whenever he sees fit. He's there to keep him in line, pretty much. What do you guys make of Sheriff Stone Cold Steve Austin?
It's lame.
Yeah, it just feels like they're like, well, we gotta have Stone Cold. People love him.
Oh, come on. You guys don't appreciate the long-term storytelling of this?
No, I don't. It's just the same story over and over.
Yeah. It's just like...
There's no second note to the joke.
Second verse, same as the first.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing? I'm doing something you don't like. I'm gonna have to beat you up, bye.
No. Why don't you have a beer with me and I'll act like everything's cool, and then I'm gonna kick you in the gut and hit you with the stunner.
Hey, come in here in this ring, have a beer with me. No, you're gonna kick me and then hurt my neck. Oh, come on. Anyways, you can cut this part out, but I went and checked the network just again, and the past thing, like, yeah, there's no Middle Eastern people holding flags.
Are you joking?
No, that's not there.
Kyle, that's a joke.
Oh, the joke wasn't very good then, because I took it serious.
Got it.
That's a reference to their match in Saudi Arabia.
Good satire gets people to not know it's satire. Very good.
Well, it wasn't good because you said the past.
Oh my gosh.
But listen.
Yes, go on.
Whatever. Well, it was the joke that apparently no one laughed at.
Our fans are loving it right now. They're rolling. They're lamowing, and they're like,
whatever.
"Oh gosh."
You know what? I'll let something slip. We hate our fans. Screw you guys.
Oh, come on, folks.
Unsubscribe to the Ruthless Aggression podcast.
Come on, folks.
I don't see 4 guys in Saudi Arabia.
I thought it was like some war in Iraq type thing. Come on. It's not like I'm freaking pulling this out of nowhere. Got a Saddam on a pole match.
Is Russo booking?
Oh, okay, folks. I'm okay.
Folks, good Lord.
I can't believe you did
All right,
that.
move on.
I'm trying.
Let's get through this garbage match that's not good.
Oh, okay.
With the best finish in the world.
Okay. Oh, man. On the January 5th, 2004 edition of Raw, Sheriff Stone Cold Steve Austin made the match Triple H versus Shawn Michaels for the World Heavyweight Championship. He then went on to say it would be a last man standing match.
What?
A rekindling of their feud from 2002, they attempt to make things as personal as they can by having Triple H bring up how DX's successes and Michaels' retirement made you jealous, Shawn. You know, they play on Triple H's kayfabe insecurities of knowing that he can't beat Shawn Michaels. But most importantly, we have Triple H point out that their match at SummerSlam, where Triple H, he may have lost, but I was the only one to walk out. You know, I liked that touch for this match, actually. You know, most of the times when they do that, it's just too obvious.
Right.
But you really thought that could have been Shawn Michaels' last appearance in WWE. You really did. Because when he came out in that wheelchair at the World, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope he's okay. I hope he can recover. And then when he stands right up and it flings out from behind him, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's better. Ah! I miss being a kid watching wrestling.
HBK.
He's like, and like Lazarus, I'm going to rise out of this chair.
He was dead.
Shut up.
We crossed lines with these two in 2002. So this seems.
What do you mean we crossed borders?
So it really seems like they are putting all their chips in on the table for this one.
We ain't talking about Lay's potato chips here, folks. We're talking about steaks. And I ain't talking about Oklahoma barbecue.
Or
folks.
Omaha steaks. If you use the promo code JR, you get $20 off your first order.
No free shout-outs.
Yeah, don't give out advertisers we don't get money from.
The rules of the match are explained by Howard Finkel. And Jake, you want to cover that one?
Welcome to the Last Man Standing match. The rules are the last man. There cannot be pinned or submitted. The only way to win the match is to be the last man standing at the count of 10.
Lock up to start. Triple H gets some punches in the corner. Shawn fights back with chops. They exchange blows, chops and punches throughout. Triple H with a takedown. Michael Bridges out. It's very back and forthy. Triple H buries a knee to the ribs. Shawn fights back and throws him in the ropes, and Triple H counters with that patented knee to the face.
The Harley Race, knee to the face.
Shoulder blocks in the corner for Triple H. Cross corner whip to Shawn that sends him down face first. One more time, but this time it leads to a big backbreaker for Triple H. Backbreaker attempt reversed by Shawn, but Triple H knocks him down with punches. Shawn catches his leg and then leg drags him down, and then gets in a nice figure 4 leg lock, which allows Jim Ross to plug the Ric Flair DVD during that spot, which I laughed
because
at.
Of course.
At that time, it was one of the most successful DVDs that they had ever released.
Mm-hmm.
So good job on Jim on that one. Triple H is screaming while in the hold, and Shawn breaks it eventually. Drop kick to the right knee of Triple H. Referee Earl Hebner starts up a count that gets to 3. Shawn charges, but Triple H pulls down the ropes. Shawn goes flying over the top to the floor. Triple H takes the cover off the Spanish announce table. He also takes the cover off of the SmackDown announce table. He slams Michaels head first into the steps.
Ooh.
He climbs onto the SmackDown table. He goes for a suplex on Shawn, but Shawn fights off with punches. And you think Triple H is gonna fall and crash through the back, but Triple H goes off to the side, and the crowd boos. They really want him to go through that table.
They were not happy.
Back in the ring, Shawn goes to the top. A double axe is blocked with a knee. Pedigree near the ropes leads to a backdrop, or rather, a spagingo! Over the top by Shawn Michaels.
So that's Triple H's last match?
Basically. Unless he can really recover. But there's no recovering from this. We all know that. Triple H is on the floor while Shawn is slowly crawling to his feet. Shawn goes for a springboard plancha, but Triple H ducks. So Shawn is on the apron, crossbody, hits the table as Triple H ducks, and Shawn goes right through it. It looked absolutely brutal.
He is counting on the outside, but the game is up. Look at this! Oh, Michaels, nice head and shoulder fake. No! Oh my gosh! Michaels trying an offside moonsault or springboard crossbody one, and the game had it. He had it scouted like all the way. Michaels crashing and burning into the Spanish announce table. Boy, oh boy, Shawn Michaels had a hit.
And I'm not sure how, but he's busted open now.
That's right.
He gets up at 6. Shawn comes out to deck him with a punch to the head. He rolls HBK into the ring, opening up even more with some punches. And Shawn is bleeding like a stuck pig, folks.
Bleeding gross, too. It's like one of those nasty cuts where it's just a stream whenever he kind of leans over. It's gross. Like his hair gets all congealed. Like Triple H is bloody, but it's fine. But Shawn is like, ugh.
It's actually the reason why this pay-per-view is TVMA.
For major attitude.
Just kidding. For blood.
But you know, Stephanie, she actually asked me about that at some point. She's like, she watched the show with me. She said, why is this TVMA? And eventually I would say, because something coming later, but I'm like, it's because it featured the first ever Get Your Boobs Out match starring Tori Wilson and Stacy Keibler.
First ever Get Your Boobs Out match between Tori Wilson and A-Train.
To get her boobs out is the winner.
'Cause you got the puppies, and I.
And then they all whip him out at the same time. Oh, it's a draw.
So Sean, brutal spot here in this TVMA pay-per-view. But I will say, him going through the table was not without any sort of recognition here, because this has landed Shawn Michaels with the Pepsi Blue splash of the night.
Oh
yeah. And now it's time for the Pepsi Blue Splash of the Night. Big God!
So good on Sean. First Pepsi Blue splash of season 3. Triple H knocks him down with punches as Hebner counts again. Sean tells Triple H to just bring it.
That's not The Rock.
More punches send HBK down to the ground. Hebner counts again, and Sean is back up again at 6. Triple H yells at him, telling him to stay down. And Shawn Michaels once again says, "Bring it on again." And Kirsten Dunst comes out, does a run-in, and hits a cartwheel.
She's the third man.
Tope suicida on Triple H. And there you go. Shawn Michaels gets in a few punches finally. Whipped into the ropes by Triple H, leading to a double A spine buster. And Hebner starts to count. But Michaels is up again, this time at 7. So it's starting to take a toll on him pretty good. Triple H gets a punch to knock him down. He heads to the floor grabbing a steel chair. And we get a stiff chair shot to the back that sends HBK down face first. Shawn doesn't move until the ref gets to 7. But he finally gets up. Pedigree on the chair is reversed, sending Triple H's back onto the chair. Catapult by Shawn Michaels, and he sends Triple H face first into the ring post, but it looked kind of botched because Triple H couldn't quite get back up on it quick enough. So he kind of stumbles and bubbles on his way there. They're both down now. Back up, and Shawn Michaels gets a huge chair shot to the face. Huge pop for that.
Ooh.
And I like that JR explained Triple H putting his hand up, because he says he tried to get that hand up, but it didn't work. Instead of just saying
it's a nice little touch.
Instead of just saying he put it there to soften the blow.
He's trying to not die, folks.
So Triple H is busted open now too. Shawn throws some punches. Triple H gets a knee, but Shawn Michaels springs out with that patented flying forearm. They're both down till 7. And Michaels kips up. He starts throwing punches at Triple H. Atomic drop and a punch send Triple H down. Shawn stumbles to the top rope for that patented top rope elbow, and it hits. JR asks, "Are we seeing a miracle here?" The crowd is going nuts now as Shawn Michaels tunes up the band for Sweet Chin Music. He goes for it and misses as Triple H ducks and punches him in the berries. Oh! I thought it was a really cool reversal. Man, just some awesome back and forth here right now. Both up now, they exchange punches in the middle of the ring. Michaels whips him into the ropes and grabs a sleeper hold. After about a minute, Shawn lets him go and the ref starts the count to 10, but Triple H is back up at 8. Punches by Shawn. Triple H shoves him back. Michaels' punch is ducked, and Triple H hits with a DDT in the middle of the ring. Hebner counts them down as Triple H gets up around at 5, while Michaels gets up at about 8. Triple H whips him into the turnbuckle, which Shawn Michaels bumps upside down. Triple H goes for a back suplex off the top. Shawn Michaels lands on top of him on the way down, and he's counting to 10 once again, but they're both up at 8. So something's got to give. It's just going to take one big move at this point. Kick to the gut for Triple H, followed by a pedigree, and this could be it. Triple H is down himself to about the 4 count. And Shawn Michaels gets up at 9 with one knee.
Ooh.
What's it gonna take? Triple H turns back to face him, and Shawn Michaels out of nowhere hits Sweet Chin Music, and both men are down. Crowd are going insane. It was so cool looking. It looked like he actually kicked him in the face, which it's supposed to, right? But my goodness, what a hit. And Earl Hebner, he's counting. He gets to 9.
Hebner.
He gets to
If
9.
you were a female, he'd be Girl Hebner.
Oh.
LOL. He gets to 9. Sean's stirring. He's moving, but falls to the ground. Earl counts to 10. That's it. It's a draw. The bell rings at 22 minutes, 46 seconds to end it. The crowd are mad, but Kyle, go first. What do you think about this match?
I thought it was real good. I quite enjoyed it. Of their past bouts, like comparing it to like their past bouts, I wouldn't say it's like my favorite, but it's still quite good. It's like the chemistry between the two is just undeniable. They're just fantastic, folks. Only thing that really killed it for me was that finish. It was so just anticlimactic, and I was booing alongside the crowd. So, but I mean, I can't help but give the match a thumbs up, you know.
Yeah, it's a thumbs up from me as well. But yeah, the finish. The problem I have right now when I watch a Triple H match is that I keep saying to myself, okay, I wonder how he's going to escape with the title this time. Like, I wonder what Tom.
Well, that's the point we've got to, right?
Yeah, it's like, what's he gonna do? What weird, stupid thing's gonna happen this time that makes sure that Triple H walks away the champion? Like, I'm just waiting for whatever's gonna happen this time.
So I will say thumbs up. Without getting too preachy here, I want to say that this is what I love about wrestling. People have their different flavors of ice cream that they're like, and this is mine. Because this is a story many, many years in the making, and where this match is very much driven by the story they're trying to tell. That's something I feel is missing in a lot of modern day wrestling. And lately, you know, I'll be honest with you. I have forgotten what I love about wrestling, and this sort of reminded me. And perhaps it's because I'm invested in the wrestlers themselves and that I don't know much about current wrestling in that way. I was invested in this so much, and I've watched this match several times throughout my life. This was just a good reminder that, you know, if you want a match that'll give you the best of wrestling, look no further than this.
The 30-man Royal Rumble matchup. 15 Raw superstars, 15 superstars from SmackDown.
That's right, and the winner gets a shot, a title shot.
At WrestleMania 20, who wants to seize the moment?
I will not be denied.
People attack me, I throw them out.
This is my shot tonight. I'm going to throw 29 other superstars right over that top rope and win the Royal Rumble for the first time in my career.
Something's taking over me, shaking, bottled up inside of me, crawling in the shadows so no one finds me. Hiding, paranoid of something, no sleeping. I'm alone, I think you should shut it. Give me no attention, now you'll be sorry. I've got nothing left to lose. You always get your way, got everything to prove. You always get your
Chris Benoit, you will never get another shot at the WWE title.
Cena and his partner win, they're in the Royal Rumble match. They lose, they can't enter the Royal Rumble match.
This is my life. You are the #1 entrant into the Royal Rumble.
And it's going to take a hell of a lot more than Paul Heyman to take away my dreams.
This is a big-time moment here on Raw. Who will be the 30th entrant in the Royal Rumble?
You'd be the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble if you're the 30th entrant.
He's going to throw him out. Goldberg wins. Goldberg has got to be the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble match.
So the announcers for the Royal Rumble are Jim Ross and Taz.
Right. Cool.
They've seemingly gotten over their differences from SummerSlam 2000, where Taz hit him over the head with the candy jar.
Oh my gosh.
Or something like that. I don't know.
Candy jar.
JR hit Taz.
Oh, yeah, because Taz hit the car window. Anyway, who cares?
Who cares, folks?
So it should be interesting with this duo here. Eric Bischoff comes out, and he comes out to say that a Raw competitor is going to win because Raw is superior in every way. And, of course, he starts going on about the bingo hall and Paul Heyman this and ECW that, which, of course, draws Paul Heyman to come out. Paul Heyman comes out and says nothing, but he throws his mic at Eric Bischoff, and they start going at it. And to an average wrestling watcher or fan at the time, without knowing anything from the past 5 years, this is just a standard like, hey, the Raw and SmackDown general manager don't get along. But this is pretty significant in the fact that you have, the manager of WCW here, Eric Bischoff, going up against the owner of ECW in Philadelphia. Like, there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever would have thought.
These two can't fight.
And no one wants to cheer for Paul Heyman.
Oh.
What, do you want to cheer for Paul Heyman, Kyle? Go ahead. Here's your chance.
Let's go, Paul. Let's go, Paul.
Paula Dean.
So Stone Cold comes out. The sheriff of Monday Night Raw I guess he's the sheriff of the Royal Rumble, too.
Why not?
And he gives a stunner to each man. So we cut backstage to Terry interviewing Goldberg. Brock Lesnar, he interrupts, and he asks Goldberg, "Where's your belt?" And Goldberg says, "I'm not wearing pants. I got a drawstring."
You're holding it for me, Brock.
Whoa, man. Goldberg says that after he wins the Royal Rumble, he'll go back to WrestleMania to get his title. And he says, "Ain't that right, Hardcore?" And Brock turns around all scared, thinking that Hardcore Holly's standing right there, but he's not.
But that's so dumb.
Because... Hardcore Holly, the man I just beat. No.
Yeah, exactly. Even if he was there, he's there with a beat down that Brock just handed him, and all he has to do is turn around and be like,
"Hey, you want another one? I'm Brock Lesnar."
Like, he didn't even cheat. He won cleanly. Goldberg says, "Some people have the nerve to call Mick Foley a coward." Insinuating that.
Yeah, one of those people was Jim Ross.
Well, hold on now. We cut back to Taz and Jim Ross, and Taz says, "Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you say if Mick Foley didn't show up tonight that you would call him a coward?"
Kiss my ass, Taz. How about that? Anyways, on the Rumble.
So then they go, "It's time to start the Royal Rumble match," and then you hear,
He's gonna win it. I'm gonna win it, folks. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna win me the Royal Rumble. By God, I'm gonna go main event WrestleMania. Woo, boom, boom.
And then number 2, you hear, "Well." Anyway, so Jim Ross, he's reluctant to call Mick Foley a coward, but pretty much Taz peer pressures him into doing so. He says, "Well, he's not here. The show's almost over." He's like, "All right, he's a coward. I've seen it, Michael."
I said he's a coward. He's a coward. I'm sorry, Mick. Please.
So Jim Ross says, "Well, I know you got your keys to victory, so let's take a look at it." Yes! Taz's keys to victory! Aren't you guys excited?
No.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at Taz's keys to victory here. Number 1, out of sight, out of mind. So if you stay hidden, no one will notice you, I guess. Number 2, conditioning. Taz says these matches are known to be long and hard.
Kind of like a penis, Cole. I'm Jim Ross.
Sorry, force of habit. And
Hey, Jim, how about me and you go to Fazoli's after this?
Yeah, okay.
Why
That sounds
the
pretty
hell
good.
would I want to go to Fazoli's?
Isn't there Morton's Steakhouse around here somewhere?
Shut the hell up!
Let's go to Snappy's Tomato Pizza. It's a pizza buffet.
Aw, that's like the only thing I miss about Union City. I like Snappy Tomato.
You know, off the record, I'm going to try and go there Christmas weekend because I haven't been there in so long.
Man, you're lucky. I literally have no reason to go back that way, so I'm probably never going to have Snappy Tomato again.
And that comment makes me question your lucky comment. Lucky? There ain't nothing going on in West Tennessee.
Yeah.
Except Snappy's.
That's how their commercials were.
Snappy
Tomato Pizza.
There's one in New Mexico, believe it or not.
Oh
Really?
my god.
Shut up, Jake.
None of us live there. Great.
Jake, maybe if one day you'll be lucky, they'll open a Snap. They're in a fancy, where the hell that place is. It ain't Oklahoma. I don't give a shit.
You don't give a what?
I don't give a shit.
I need that to be a thing.
Getting overly pissed off.
One more time. I need it one more time.
Okay, and then we got to move on to the Rumble. I don't give a shit, folks.
No, you gotta say it in that way.
Sorry, I meant to put more stank on it. Now, Taz, I know we got a problem here at this Royal Rumble, but I don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, the Big Show's going to win it.
Oh gosh, okay.
Folks, you better call up Snappy Tomato, have my New York Deep Dish ready.
Yes. Oh gosh, let's get this last key out of the way. Higher number is your best friend.
There we go.
Thank you, Taz. And now it's time for the main event of the evening after this commercial break.
It's about to get crazy up in here. We got this, baby. I wanna see you bada bing, go bada boom. Watch your body swing to the hottest things. Oh, I like it when you bounce, bounce. Throw your hands up when you bounce.
You got served. Rated PG-13. In theaters everywhere Friday.
It's about to hit. So brace yourself, because you're going to get fired up. 2 incredible CDs packed with over 2 hours of all your favorite dance hits. You can't get this 2 CD collection in any store. For the first time ever, these Dance Club mega hits are all together on one non-stop party collection. Order Fired Up online at MusicSpace.com. Get fired up now and sleep later. To order, call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpace.com. Rush delivery available.
Snap, snap, Snappy Tomato Pizza. Snappy Tomato Pizza. Snappy Tomato Pizza. Snappy Tomato Pizza. You get so much taste in a snap. Free delivery. Snappy Tomato Pizza. Snappy Tomato Pizza. Snappy Tomato. You get so much taste in a snap, snap.
Yes, I did it and I'll do it up. Time and time again, you think about yourself before you think about me. Time and time again, you think about yourself before you think about me.
Pepsi Blue, a fusion of berries with a splash of cola. Pepsi Blue. It's a blue thing.
You want to see how we do football? Keep your eye on this. Bring it! This ain't just football. This is NFL Street. Rated E for everyone.
EA Sports.
Support for the Ruthless Aggression podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. They are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you with the best tools for your grooming experience. Now, since we're talking about 2004, let's talk about ball care in 2004. Yeah, I'm not talking about basketballs, I'm not talking about footballs, I'm talking about testicles. Alright, if you were like me way back then, you had that little pair of scissors that you had to be really careful with, and sometimes you'd get a little too close. Whew, that hurts. But that is why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team spent 18 months perfecting the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created and just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0. Their third-generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. And let me tell you, folks, when you're getting up in it, it definitely matters. When I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. This battery will last up to 90 minutes, so you can take a longer shave. You could shave Albert, the A-Train, if you needed to, but you might have to charge it once. It's a 90-minute charge. I charge it because I think I should. I've never run out of battery with my lawnmower. The Lawnmower 3.0 has waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, which is the best place to do it because you don't have the cleanup. They've also upgraded to 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology. And let's not forget about that charging stand. Show your mower off loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. It sits right there in the corner. If you're listening to me speak right now, and you have balls, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself, or first ball for yourself. Trim that junk of yours. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RUTHLESSPOD at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Again, get 20% off and free shipping with the code RUTHLESSPOD at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the promo code RUTHLESSPOD. Now, back to the show.
So here it comes again for all the wrong I've done. Here's 1,000,001. Sorry for 2004. I ain't gonna mess up no more. Oh, this year I'ma take my time. I'ma make it clear to you. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm taking this one just to say sorry for the way that I did you. How I hurt you, girl. I'm sorry on the sorry on the sorry for the things I did. Sorry for the things I said. Sorry for the lies. Sorry for the times that I didn't get what you want. What you all I can do is tell you that I'm sorry, babe.
It's the main.
Thirty men enter, one man leave.
Is a Saturday Night Live guy?
Yeah, I guess. I guess it kind of sounds like it's towards the end.
So up first, we have Chris Benoit and Randy Orton. So to start out here, Benoit, he stomps Orton down in the corner. Snap suplex by Benoit. Orton fights out with kicks and forearms. Oh, I should mention that Chris Benoit here has been facing some adversity because Paul Heyman said he would never get a shot at the world title again as long as he was in charge. So Benoit, he's got a lot of ground to cover tonight, especially here at number 1, if he ever wants to get a shot at that world title. So that's kind of the story going into here. Orton, he stomps Benoit in the gut while he's in the corner. Hard lockup. We get a knee to the ribs from Benoit. When number 3 comes out,
It's Mark Henry.
It's sexual, baby.
and I know it's just you and I. I actually like that song.
Little ass on.
Oh, no. Get that out of here, folks. So Mark Henry, he's out. Chris Benoit is trying to toss out Randy Orton when Mark Henry, he comes in and goes after Benoit with headbutts. He stomps Orton down in the corner. Benoit chops at Henry, but he shrugs him off. Orton gets decked by Henry. Chris Benoit stomps on Henry in the corner. And Henry and Benoit fight in the corner while Orton waits. When number 4 comes out,
It's Tajiri.
Yeah, Orton gets kicked all over by Tajiri, which I thought was pretty awesome.
I love Tajiri's kicks. Tajiri was always like low key one of my favorites. Whenever he comes out, I'm excited, and so yeah, I've always loved the Japanese buzzsaw.
Yeah, for real. Like he's just like one of those mid card dudes that every time he's in a match, I'm like, hey.
I really thought there was really like something to his kicks. Like you did not want to get kicked by him, no matter how big the opponent was. Like if he was going up against Big Show, if Tajiri could just kick him in the head, he would win. Like that's how over they got those kicks. 2 German suplexes by Benoit to Tajiri. Orton goes to throw out Henry in the corner. Henry tries to toss out Orton, but he hangs on. And they pair off with Benoit and Tajiri and Orton and Henry. When number 5 comes out,
Number 5, it's Bradshaw.
he gets a clothesline on Orton, Henry, and Tajiri. Benoit reverses a clothesline into the crossface, though. Bradshaw tries to toss him out, but Benoit holds on, and Bradshaw falls out. So Bradshaw has been eliminated in a very quick time. So up next, number 6.
It's Rhino.
I don't know
What's so
why
funny
that,
about that?
I don't know why that reminded me of I'm back.
Oh my god. I'm back. And he starts kicking that fat guy on the ground. He's like, oh.
Rhino comes after Benoit. Tajiri kicks at Henry. He gets the tarantula on Mark Henry with only one leg there.
Tarantula.
It just looks kind of silly. Meanwhile, Rhino gores Henry, and that sends Tajiri out. It was a cool spot, but also kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Benoit charges at Henry, shoving him out of the ring. Get a huge pop for that. Rhino and Orton double Benoit, but he holds on. And a replay shows that Tajiri used green mist.
No, not the green mist.
Is he blind?
Nah, that's
No.
a black mist.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You don't even want to see the red mist. It'll melt your brain.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, mist to Mark Henry, assist in that exchange. Number 7.
It's Matt Hardy.
Makes his way to the ring. And he goes after everybody. He gets a side effect on Rhino. Benoit tosses Hardy, but he hangs on. Rhino with a shoulder tackle to Hardy in the corner. Number 8 comes out.
Holler! If you hear me! Cause Scott Steiner, you fat bastard!
Steiner clotheslines all 4 people in the ring. T-bone suplex on Orton. Side belly-to-belly suplex to Benoit. T-bone suplex to Rhino. Benoit reverses a suplex on Steiner, hitting 2 German suplexes on him. JR notes that there are no former Rumble winners in this match. And that it's the first time ever for that, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
We are guaranteed.
Like, at all?
Yeah, the whole thing.
At all, baby.
Number 9 comes out.
It's just Matt Morgan. That's all. Just Matt Morgan.
Matt Morgan spends a year in the WWE with everyone telling him that no one cares about him.
Yeah, nobody does.
Jim Ross calls him a blue chipper. So we got 6 superstars in the ring right now. Matt Morgan decks Hardy with a big boot. Steiner suplexes Rhino. Jim Ross calls him a hoss. Hardy tries to throw out Steiner, and Rhino helps him with that, but Matt Morgan breaks that up. And the announcers say that that is a rookie mistake. Up next, number 10.
You better stand back, because there's a hurricane coming through.
It's the Hurricane. He comes in with a crossbody block on just about everybody. Matt Morgan catches him and tosses him off to the outside. He's not in for very long. Number 11 comes out.
It's the Booker Man, y'all. Can you Booker T? Can you dig it? Yeah, that's Booker Man, y'all.
Oh, gosh. Jim Ross says that Booker T is a favorite to win the Rumble. Scott Steiner immediately goes after him, and they exchange blows. There's 7 people in the ring right now. One thing I want to note here is Booker T, he backs Scott Steiner in the corner, and it reveals his pink thong.
Yes.
So once more with feeling.
Let's go, ping dong, stop looking at my undies.
Scott, I'm sorry, they're just kind of there. It's kind of obvious. Booker gets a scissors kick on Orton. Matt Morgan, he chops down Benoit. And Booker gets a big kick to the jaw of Scott Steiner when number 12 comes out.
It's Kane.
So,
or did he come out to another WWE original song?
He didn't have one.
I'm Kane. I got burned in the face.
I'm Kane. I'm bringing the fire. I'm gonna chokeslam you and lift you higher.
Boo, your song sucks too.
That sounded like it could be actually real.
For real.
You gotta have the lamest rap possible. My fire burns so bright, you will not even sleep tonight. The way you said it was like on par. Oh my gosh. So anyway.
It's the Levi Laughcast.
Basically. So, yeah, Kane comes out, and during his entrance, we see that Scott Steiner gets eliminated. Although we never actually saw it. They had to do a replay of it.
Jeez.
And,
showing how little they care about Scott Steiner now.
And unfortunately, fellas, this is the last time we'll see Scott Steiner in the Ruthless timeline.
No.
Okay, I say we derail this podcast and now start
Derail?
TNA cast. And just cover Scott Steiner's career now. We're at Scott Steiner cast now.
You want to derail the A train?
Derail the A train?
On the A train. Choo choo.
That's what we should have done.
So, yeah, you guys have any favorite Scott Steiner memories in 140 characters or less that you'd like to share?
All of it.
Just when he came out and immediately got gassed, basically in every match.
And did the belly-to-belly suit.
Did like 1,000 belly-to-bellies and tried to do like the military slam things. Afterwards, it's like...
With his drop foot.
His glasses fall off, you see his scared little boy eyes.
So Kane, he comes out. He gets a choke slam on Chris Benoit. Matt Morgan goes for a powerbomb, but Kane reverses into a backdrop. That's right, it's a big fat filthy spagingo. Oh! So choke slam to Matt Morgan by Kane. Kane gets a sidewalk slam on Matt Hardy. Rhino goes for the gore, but it's blocked with a big boot.
Big meat.
Randy goes for the RKO, but it's reversed to a choke slam. Kane is absolutely just clearing house here when number 13 comes out.
In Philadelphia. Oh, what an uppercut right there by Kane. This guy scares the hell out of me, JR. I'm telling you.
Look, he's a dominator. There's no doubt about it.
Who's next? Who's next?
The man that he buried his own brother. What the hell?
Uh-oh. What the
hell is that? That hole can mean only one thing.
Yeah, I know.
And the blackout can mean look at it. Look at him.
That is huge.
Kane was totally predisposed for that.
But wait, what the hell's going on? The spike down.
Oh my gosh, it's the Undertaker.
I know those big dogs. It's Undertaker.
So for the first time in months, or years in this case, we hear the Undertaker's gong, or just any sign of the Undertaker. And Kane is just saying, "No, I buried you alive." So signs of the Undertaker. He's very much alive, but dead. I don't know. Shoot. So number 13 actually comes out, and it's
Spike Dudley.
Booker. He goes up from behind Kane and eliminates him. Catches Spike Dudley in Kane's crosshairs once more. They've kind of been intertwining on Raw, with Spike Dudley getting one-ups on Kane. So Kane chokeslams Spike on the steel rampway before Spike could ever even come down. No sign of the Undertaker. Perhaps Kane thinks Spike Dudley did this to get one over on him. Guess we'll find out on Raw, I guess. I don't know. Shoot.
Find out on Raw.
Meanwhile, Chris Benoit tries to throw Matt Hardy out, and there are 6 superstars in the ring. Number 14 comes out. It's Rikishi. Rhino charges at Benoit, who sends Rhino out over the top with a backdrop. That's right, it's another spagingo! So Rhino, he's eliminated. We get a stink face to Matt Morgan in the corner.
It was appropriate then. Shut up.
Number 15 comes out.
Oh, we get you back.
It's Rene Dupree. Matt Hardy goes for a twist of fate, but it's reversed.
Oh, no!
Dupree suplexes Matt Hardy on the top rope and knocks him out of the ring. I was not a fan of this. I don't think Rene Dupree should have eliminated Matt Hardy, but nevertheless, he eliminates him and does a little dance. Meanwhile,
this is a little frolic.
Meanwhile, Rikishi behind him is mimicking his dance, so I liked that part. That was funny. He gives him a super kick and eliminates Dupree. When number 16 comes out.
Check it. Shoot. It's the A-Train.
He's the 6th man in the ring here with no facial hair.
Weird.
We told you to shave your back, not your face. Like I do not like goateeless A-Train.
It's a little odd. You should be as hairy as possible. It's your thing.
Benoit eliminates Matt Morgan as they are brawling in the corner. As Rikishi is trying to eliminate A-Train, Orton tosses out Rikishi.
No, but he's so big.
That was a great spot for Randy Orton to have. He quickly throws out Booker T soon after. A-Train works on Benoit in the corner, and there's only 3 in the ring now. Number 17 comes out.
It's Shelton Benjamin.
For me.
So Chris Benoit, he gives a spagingo to A-Train. Benoit and Orton are on an absolute roll, and that's the story here so far. Benjamin is working on Orton. Sidekick misses Orton, which crotches Benjamin on the top. Orton throws him out, so now it's just down to Benoit and Orton. They butt heads and fall down to the mat when a strange man comes out.
Got a big break here with
the hell
is this?
Oh, that's the
Ladies and gentlemen, Ernest the Cat Miller!
That's Lamont. That's the cat's little friend.
Hey, can somebody call my
Ernest the
mama?
Cat
It's about to
Miller.
get funky up in here.
Well, let's see if he can capitalize on.
Well, what's up with Lamont? Oh, the cat's putting on a good foot. Well, he's gonna do a little dance out here. Well, you know. Well, somebody better call his mama. Somebody call my mama. Come on, JR.
Call his mama, but he
Somebody
can't,
call my
he can't
mama.
dance his way to the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, but he's got some quick feet.
Got to fight his way in, and I hear this guy's a...
Call my mama. Somebody call my mama. Come on, Jay, you're not even helping out.
He's well, I'm not. He's an entertaining guy. I'll have to admit that.
Oh,
But
he's dancing. He's nutty, silly. He's got the Elvis pants on. He's nutty. Look at him. Lamont. What's Lamont doing? Come on, Jack, can you scream like that?
No.
Come on. Can you
do
dance
it.
like that?
Somebody call my mama.
Can you get down like that?
No,
If you grab your yam bag hard enough, you can scream like that. Oh! What the hell? Hold on.
My God.
Well, the wig's eliminated.
That was a bitch here.
The wig got eliminated. Then Lamont. Then the cat. Good. Enough with the dancing. I'm sick of the dancing.
Well, we're back down to where we started. And we'll continue the wrestling portion of the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, somebody better call his mama and call him a taxi to the hotel.
Cat's got plenty of time to call his mama.
Which brings out number 18.
It's Ernest the Cat Miller.
Why? Why?
Why not? Take a crazy chance.
This is the
Do a crazy dance.
This is the one. This is your big old big reveal, your surprise entrant, and it's Ernest the Cat Miller. Ernest the Cat Miller was only over in WCW because he had years to make people like his gimmick. Now he's been here for like 2 weeks, and now we expect his dancing to be over? No, nobody gets it. Nobody understands. Nobody watched WCW.
I think the message here is that if you lose the moment, that you may lose a lot. So why not? Why not?
Why not?
Why not take a crazy chance? Anyway, Ernest Miller, he's had vignettes on SmackDown here recently. The only other thing he's been doing is chatting up with Sable on SmackDown. He stripped to his boxers and danced in front of her. It was weird. It reminded me of those Joe Boxer commercials back in the day. I immediately thought that was him in the commercials. If you guys remember it all.
I barely remember.
I'm not surprised. But anyway, I love Taz here, though, because they're dancing. Both Benoit and Orton are down, but Taz like, somebody call my mama. I quite liked it. They go to toss out the dudes. Benoit, he goes to toss out Lamont, his name, and snatches him bald, which I thought that was pretty funny. He's like, I'm bald, my hair, my bald. And they toss him out. Yeah, I'm on record on the podcast for not being a fan of Ernest Miller, being confused as to why he wrestles without shoes but has to put them on to dance. But Jake is quick to tell me that is because that's his dancing shoes, and I am quick to say that is the change the channel button right there. That's what I'm going to do, and subsequently that's what everybody else did back in the day. That's why they lost in the Monday Night Wars against
Monday Night War. They was Ernest the Cat Miller's fault we lost them Wars.
I believe that's the last we'll see of Ernest Miller in the Ruthless timeline. The first and the last. So there you go. So number 19 comes out.
Number 19 is Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle goes after Randy Orton. Benoit clotheslines him down twice. We get chops on Angle by Benoit, and Benoit charges at him, and then Angle decks him with a big clothesline. So very back and forth action from Benoit and Kurt Angle here. Number 20 comes out.
You look so good to me.
Rico comes in working on Orton, and he's got his awesome, oh baby, you look so good to me. But it's got like a little dance beat on it, I think. If not, it's got the rock metal version, which I'm just so confused. Jim Johnston cannot control himself when it comes to metal tracks.
So weird.
But anyway, Rico, you look so good to us, baby.
Baby. I love me some Rico, Big Daddy.
He comes in and starts working on Orton, kicking him down. Angle is trying to toss Benoit on the other side. In the middle, Benoit hits 3 German suplexes on Angle. Orton gets the RKO on Rico, picks him up over his shoulders, and tosses him out like yesterday's trash. So Rico is eliminated. Benoit goes to the top for the flying headbutt on Kurt Angle, but Angle pops up and crotches Benoit. Number 21 comes out. Wait a second.
Oh, well, he doesn't come out. What's going on? Well, let's head backstage and figure out what's going on.
And that man is Kurt Angle playing possum.
Oh! Angle. Now what a rush of adrenaline was Angle playing possum. One of the two.
Trying to get Benoit out.
And a sense of urgency here. But Benoit up top rope.
Oh, this big cat from Raw Test.
He's another big man that can do some damage here.
All right.
The hell is he?
Was he invisible now? Ooh.
I don't know where he is.
Oh, nice!
Oh, the RKO.
RKO, yeah.
Orton got the RKO on Kurt Angle.
Where the hell's Test?
I have no idea.
Oh, yeah, just a figure of speech. Maybe we could play his music. I don't play his music.
We're waiting on Test. If anybody...
I don't know. Looks like he's knocked out. I don't know.
We need to get a trainer in here.
We need a trainer. Let's get a trainer. He's out. He's been knocked out.
Is he gonna make it to the Rumble or not?
I don't think so. Like he is. We're
What
getting
the
out.
hell are you doing? That's my number 21 entry, you son of a bitch. All right, now you're number 21. Get your ass to the ring. No, now.
Trainer.
Get to the damn ring.
Who in the hell is Austin talking to?
I don't know.
Test has obviously been knocked out by someone. And whoever knocked Test out is going to be the 21st entrant, according to Sheriff Austin. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, my God.
Don't tell me.
No.
It can be.
Randy Orton shot. And so am I. Oh, man.
It's Mick Foley. Mick Foley is here. And Orton can't believe it.
I'm shocked.
Mick Foley won his ass off.
He's fighting his ass off. He's beating the hell out of Randy. Look at this. No.
Mick Foley. My God, he's not a coward. Foley fighting for all he's got here. That was Foley, apparently, who took out Test. And look at Foley, the fist and the forearms for the pretty face of Randy Orton.
In this arena, Philadelphia.
Oh gosh, Test is down. He is down. He's supposed to be number 21. Yes, absolutely.
Someone's hit him right in the testicles.
Oh wait, they're stone cold. He's saying, get your butt to the ring. Oh.
Get to the ring. He sounds so raspy and weird when he yells.
He's trying to be serious.
Don't get.
It's Mick Foley.
That's Mick Foley. My God, I'm wrong.
Is that what Jim Ross starts saying?
Yeah, he starts tearing up and just like he can't control himself. He's like burying his face in his hands. He's sobbing. You can just hear it.
My biggest regret in life is prematurely calling Mick Foley a coward. So yeah, Mick Foley. He is back after weeks of taunting from Randy Orton. He meets him in the middle and they exchange blows. And fun fact about this spot, they are actually hitting each other. And they agreed to do that to make it look more authentic. But they regretted it because they said it looked crappy, but they felt all of it.
Yeah, because like when you go to hit somebody for real, like you're naturally going to try to make it not hurt as much. So it's just going to look weaker. Whereas when you just like do fake punches, it's like, it's wrestling. We get it. It looks more painful.
It's one of the biggest criticisms of UFC. It's like, oh, they do puny little punches and stuff, but it's like they feel that,
Yeah, it's they just do big wallops. They're just going to be freaking gassed in 5 minutes.
So Foley, he clotheslines Orton over the top to the outside, and they're both eliminated. And they brawl to the outside. And
eliminated.
As far as Test goes here, this is not his last appearance, but will be for quite some time. I think he will not pop back up until December to Dismember.
Yeah, I was going to say WWE, CW type stuff.
So stay tuned for that. We're not looking forward
It'll
to
be
that, but
a little further down the timeline, but
so number 22 comes out.
It's Shawn Michaels' favorite, Christian. Get it? The end.
Foley and Orton, they're still fighting outside. Orton picks up steel steps, or Foley rather hits steel steps, but he hits an official. Orton comes back at him with chair shots. One shot to the knee and one to the face. Orton beats him up and down the aisle, slamming the back of Foley's head on the steel. Foley fights back. Foley fights back with a punch to the back. We get a clothesline on the ramp, and they haven't actually shown anything in ring since. Number 23 comes out.
Hey, give me my New York deep dish. It's a Nunzio.
Oh my God.
He comes in, he runs in the ring, just slides in. People start like trying to eliminate themselves, but he's too fast. He starts cleaning house. He's just destroying them one by one. It's crazy. He does an F5 to the Big Show. Big Show wasn't out, though. He came out for an enforcer, but it didn't work.
No, Mick Foley, he sees Nunzio, and he sees that he looks thirsty, so he gives him the Sacco Raw Energy Drink from 2007, and it quenches his thirst. No, he gives him Mr. Sacco, the Mandible Claw, which allows Randy Orton to kick Foley right in the berries. Oh! Foley and Orton head to the back to brawl, so good stuff from them. Let's see. In the ring, Christian and Benoit are trying to throw Kurt Angle out. Nunzio is on the floor saying he doesn't want to win. Benoit's been in there for almost 40 minutes now. Kurt Angle comes back out. German suplex on Christian and one on Benoit. Nunzio is still on the floor. He's not going in the ring yet. Kurt Angle can't quite throw out Christian when number 24 comes out.
Well, it's the Big Show.
Good God. So Benoit's working over Christian. Big Show goes after Kurt Angle, knocking him down with a kick. Chops on Christian, then one for Benoit. He pounds on all three of these guys. Yes, thank you.
That's the chop.
You said chop. He pounds on all three of the guys in the ring with a big hip toss on Christian. When number 25 comes out,
it's Chris Jericho.
Jericho, he goes after Kurt Angle. He and Christian double team on Angle. Big Show then grabs them and headbutts them together. Another headbutt on Jericho. Christian jumps on Big Show's back, and now all four are ganging up on the Show.
Oh.
So Big Show, he does that big, like, roar thing, and they all scatter. I hate that spot so much.
So trash.
It's overused, but I don't really hate it. When it's used appropriately, I don't mind it. But if you see a bunch of trash backyard wrestlers doing it, get out of here.
I'm on record somewhere. I'm on record somewhere on this podcast for saying there was a time when I was in 7th grade and I went to an independent show. It was like in this smoky bar type of atmosphere. It's free tickets I won. My mom was so mad at me for dragging her to this. We actually only stayed for the first match because it was that bad. But they had a battle royal. Rikishi was supposed to be there. That's why I wanted to go. They had a big battle royal, and there was a big fat wrestler there named Tank, where that was one of the first spots they did, and I was like, okay, wrestling's fake for sure because of that move. That was one of my first kayfabe breaking spots, because I'm like, he's not the Big Show, he's just a big fat guy.
Just a big fat guy.
Number 26.
Number 26. It's
just Charlie Haas.
Yeah, nothing special. You already know he's not going to win. It's Charlie Haas, crying out loud. Jericho and Christian give a double suplex to Haas. Nunzio is still on the floor, scheming and scamming. Jericho and Christian toss Benoit, but he hangs on. Jericho turns on Christian, but Jericho holds on. He gives a spaghetti to Christian. Out to the floor, eliminates him. When number 27 comes out,
I'm an ass man. Yeah, I'm an ass man.
Haha, hey, it's better than Hardcore Holly. It's Billy Gunn.
Not by much.
about to say no,
but it's still something.
no reaction here.
Hey, at least Billy Gunn gets to be in the Royal Rumble, my.
Oh,
Sure.
I guess.
Billy Gunn has been on SmackDown doing vignettes for his top 3 moments of his career. Which number 3 was him in the Smoking Guns. Number 2 was him winning King of the Ring. And I don't quite remember
And
what number.
showing his ass.
I don't quite remember what number 1 was, but who cares? He hits his finisher on everybody. You know, actually pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie, I like Billy Gunn, but I know there is a limit to liking him.
Yeah. It's like too much Billy Gunn's a bad thing, a very bad thing.
Yeah. Except for Billy and Chuck, that was pretty good stuff.
That was pretty good stuff.
So number 28 comes out.
Number 28. It's
Yes, John Cena comes out. He's wearing his Phillies jersey. And he gets one of the biggest pops of the night. Big Show is waiting on him. They've been feuding for the past couple months. John Cena sees Nunzio on the ground. And he's like, no, please don't notice me. And John Cena sends him in. Big Show chops Cena hard in the chest. Nunzio tries to throw out Big Show, but he eats a chop in the back instead. That is to say, Big Show gives Nunzio a chop to his back, not Big Show going to the back and catering to eat a chop. Just want to clarify that there real quick, folks. So, Cena, he's firing away on Big Show. Big Show's getting double teamed by Billy Gunn and Nunzio. John Cena and Jericho team up on Big Show when number 29 comes out.
It's Rob Van Dam. I'm high on pots.
RVD opens up on Big Show with a drop kick. Spin kick for Jericho. Everybody's pairing off. Cena gets the FU on Kurt Angle, but he can't seem to toss him out. When number 30 comes out.
It's Bill Goldberg.
Boo.
I failed to mention in our last review that after his match at Armageddon 03, losing the world title, Goldberg threw a bit of a temper tantrum backstage, throwing things, cussing, screaming. He was not happy about losing that match.
So?
Then he tried to babyface himself afterwards when Trips walked in. He's like, "Is there a problem here, Bill?" And he's like, "No, there's no problem. I'm just a big baby." And he's like, "All right, well, enjoy your payoff, Goldberg." And he's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, Hardcore?" And Goldberg freaks out because everyone's afraid of Hardcore Holly.
Yeah, no. Oh, sorry, you got me, Hunter. Oh, hey, Hardcore. And then Triple H goes, oh. He goes, "Hey, Bill, I got something for you." And he just has like the old Goldberg nameplate and he just flicks it at his face.
Oh, gosh. So Goldberg, he starts clearing house here. He gets a spear on Big Show, spear on Billy Gunn.
He hits both moves he knows, the spear and the spear.
Punch to
He
Kurt.
also knows the jackhammer.
Punch to Kurt Angle. Jericho and RVD also get that. And a slam to Charlie Haas. Nunzio jumps on Goldberg's back, and while he's there, Goldberg tosses Haas out with Nunzio riding his back. So awesome. I love that spot.
Mm-hmm.
He slams Nunzio down, and then he gets the spear on him. And it was one of the most devastating spears in history.
Destroys him. Yeah, we criticize Goldberg a lot on the show, and I mean, rightly so. But like, you know, in these short burst environments, like that's just where he worked. So he works all right here in the Royal Rumble.
Goldberg clotheslines Billy Gunn out, so he's out. Press slam on Nunzio by Goldberg, and he's out. Big Show is going at Goldberg, but Goldberg is going to give a jackhammer to the Big Show when Brock Lesnar comes in out of nowhere and gives Goldberg a huge F5.
Even put him in this. Wait a minute. Brock Lesnar! Brock Lesnar! F5! F5's coming! Yeah! Brock Lesnar and Goldberg! What the hell is this about? I'm feeling that, baby! Lesnar's not in the Royal Rumble match! Goldberg deserve it! Big ups to Lesnar! Plant his ass with an F5! Brock Lesnar... Goldberg never saw it coming. And that's the idea. Brock Lesnar will get you from behind. You least expect it, Lesnar attack. Goldberg and the Lesnar had words earlier. You son of a bitch! And I think you saw that. Goldberg just called Lesnar a son of a bitch. Well, Lesnar is a...
Yeah, he starts spitting everywhere.
Kurt Angle comes from behind and eliminates Goldberg. Now there's 6 left. We got Benoit, RVD, Kurt Angle, Jericho, Big Show, and Cena. John Cena, Angle, Jericho, Benoit, and RVD all gang up on the Big Show, and he tosses them all off just as he did earlier. He clotheslines them all down. Headbutt to Jericho. Slam to Cena is prevented by Angle with a chop block. Jericho with a line salt on Show. RVD with a frog splash on Big Show. Cena with a 5-knuckle shuffle. Preceded by pumping up his shoes. So 5-knuckle shuffle to the Big Show. Benoit gets a diving headbutt. And so they've all hit their finishers on the Big Show. And Angle orders everyone to toss out the Show. So they try to pick up Show, but they just can't. I have a hard time believing that these larger-than-life athletes can't pick up Big Show, but whatever. RVD, he tries to monkey flip Big Show out. But Big Show, obviously blocks it and sends him out. But that was even funny to read. So we're down to our final 4. We got Chris Benoit, Kurt Angle, Chris Jericho, and the Big Show. An interesting final 4 here, I will say. Big Show tosses Chris Jericho out, but he skins the cat, hanging on just barely. Another attempt by Big Show is blocked by Jericho. Jericho comes back with a bulldog off the middle rope. Jericho gets the walls of Jericho on Big Show, and he taps. It doesn't matter, though. Jericho is trying to toss out Angle. Show slams down Benoit and then goes after Jericho. Choke slam on Jericho to the floor, and Jericho is eliminated. Big Show takes down Angle and hits Benoit with a choke slam. The final 3 are all SmackDown folks, as Taz points out. Angle's German suplex doesn't work on Big Show. He does get an Angle slam, however. Benoit goes after Angle. He eats an Angle slam. Show is up with a choke slam, but Angle rolls through with an Angle lock. But Show gets to the ropes, but doesn't really matter. As he doesn't let up on this hold, Big Show stands up while in the ankle lock and uses his momentum to flip Angle over the top. So cool right there.
Very cool. That was awesome.
One of the most unique eliminations in the Rumble history. So we're down to Chris Benoit and Big Show. Big Show is on the apron, leaning over the top rope with his head in the middle, and Benoit comes off the top and hits a diving headbutt on Show while he's leaned over. And at this point, Benoit's been in there for exactly 1 hour.
Dang.
He charges.
Damn.
He charges, but Big Show gets that goozle on his throat. Benoit reverses to the crossface, and Show taps out once again, but it doesn't matter. Show gets to his feet, dropping Benoit down on his side. Show gets up first onto one knee. Show picks up Benoit into the military press position, and Benoit fights out of it by grabbing a headlock. So they're inching their way towards the ropes, and Benoit has him in this headlock, and he's not letting go. And Big Show is just slowly going over, and you feel he's so close. Oh, just gotta get that one foot up. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, Big Show's out.
Face lock in that chin-trick position, and Benoit.
Oh, there he goes, it's going.
Benoit, look at Benoit.
Benoit's hanging onto that head like a damn lock in a pit bull like that.
Benoit's holding. He's holding. The Big Show teetering.
Oh my God! He's gonna go! JR!
The Big Show!
Can he do it? Hang on, Show!
Show is teetering!
Hang on, Show! Hold on!
Yes! Benoit has done it!
Here is your winner of the 2004 Royal Rumble match, Chris Benoit!
Benoit's going to WrestleMania, JR, and he's getting a title shot.
Chris Benoit, over 1 hour of hell, has won the Royal Rumble match before 17,289 fans. And yes, Chris Benoit's dream to headline WrestleMania has come true.
He falls out of the ring. Both feet hit the floor.
Oh my God!
Chris Benoit's done it in 61 minutes and 30 seconds. Benoit is the winner of the 2004 Royal Rumble.
Wow.
I'll go first here to get my talking out of the way. Thumbs up. In what is considered the Forgotten Rumble, one of the greatest Royal Rumble matches of all time. It checks every box that it needs to. Big surprises, putting over the right guys. I mean, what more do you want out of a Rumble match? And what better of a wrestler to put over than Chris Benoit?
Yeah, I mean, thumbs up. It's hard to take anything away from this match. I mean, the only thing you can really say about it that didn't deliver was there weren't really any surprise entrants other than Mick Foley, but they kind of telegraphed it, but they did it long enough away that you forgot about Mick Foley. Kind of like, even in that moment, I was like, okay, well, who beat up Test and why? Oh, it's Mick Foley. But then I was like, okay, but why did Mick Foley beat up Test? Anyway, thumbs up.
It's like, this will surely get me into the Rumble, just beating up a guy. As far as me, I really enjoyed it. Of course, thumbs up as a great Royal Rumble. Very, very, very well paced. Like, sometimes in Rumbles, like, I think, you know, it kind of can drag a bit. You know, there's those moments where you feel like people are just trying to find something to look busy. I didn't really see that too much in this match. All the entrants, I think, did a great job. When it got down to, like, the final three, it really definitely picked up. Just, you know, I love that angle elimination. That was really cool. And then just the ending was just so well done. On the edge of your seat, like, he's going to get him. He's going to get him. And definite. It's like, in hindsight, it feels kind of telegraphed that Benoit is going to win it. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter.
In hindsight, it does. But when it's happening,
yeah,
you don't.
When it's happening, yeah. But, man, yeah, start to finish, great finish. Yeah, big old thumbs up for me.
Well, with that being said, Chris Benoit celebrates his victory. And that'll do it for the Royal Rumble 2004. Overall, I got to say, this show was pretty good. A lot of short action, but continuing of stories and closing of ones that needed to, such as Hardcore Holly and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, for real.
And you feel it's not over with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. It's good stuff, man. Good stuff. And if this is the precursor to 2004, if this is how we're getting started, I say bring it on, man. I think we got some good stuff in store.
Give me 2,000 more.
Hey, Ruben stuttered. You don't gotta apologize for this one.
So yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and join us next time for No Way Out 2004.
Oh, hey Jake, what are we gonna see, Daddy?
Ooh, well, we're going to open up with the Bashams going up against Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty. Oh, pardon me. The Bashams and Shaniqua going up against Rikishi and Scotty 2 Hotty for the WWE Tag Team Championship.
Title.
And we've got a intergender match where Jamie Noble will be facing Nydia.
I want to see that.
Rey Mysterio will defend his Cruiserweight Championship against...
Ooh, Chavo. Ooh!
And in a triple threat match to determine the #1 contender to the WWE Championship, Kurt Angle will be facing The Web and John Cena.
Like it was simply just the whip.
And in our main event of the evening, Broccoli Snar going up against Edward Guerrero for the WWE Championship.
Ooh. We ain't talking about Chavo.
Ooh.
So obviously an historical show coming up with one of, if not the biggest win of Eddie Guerrero's career.
Oh, don't spoil it for the listeners. Come on.
Oh, God. I thought you were talking about the Nydia and Jamie Noble match. That was going to be a
Oh,
barn burner.
gosh. But, so yeah, you don't want to miss it. In the meantime, if you can't get enough Ruthless goodness, then follow us on our socials. Twitter is @RuthlessPod, Instagram Ruthless Aggression Podcast, and Facebook, as well as YouTube, respectively, the Ruthless Aggression Podcast. Jake, where can they follow you in the meantime?
You can find me on Twitter arguing with idiots at JakeTaber541, or you can find me on Twitch at RedArrowPNW.com. I forgot my website there. I am also the host of my show with Alex and Jake. We release every Saturday, available at FX.info. So make sure you're checking that out. We've got, sometimes we're funny.
If you want an occasional laugh, man, that's the place to go. But no, good stuff over there by Jake and Alex and Robin, of course. And occasionally some guests. There's always some surprises going on or something.
There's always something happening on that show. It's crazy.
But yeah, Kyle, where can they follow you in the meantime?
You can follow me down the street if you know where I live, but you don't, so kiss my ass. But if you want to hit me up, just hit us up at any of our Ruthless Aggression social media accounts. Use the hashtag BigSexyKyle.
And of course, we would love it if you felt so inclined to give us a donation of 99 cents, $5, or $10. There will be a link in the show's notes description of this podcast where you can link us to give us a little change, a little spending money. And we thank listeners such as Amy Dalton and Nate the Effin' Great for throwing that cheddar on the table and giving to the cause of Ruthless Aggression Podcast. We greatly appreciate it. And your money goes to, like me now, talking out of a Shure SM7B mic upgrade to make it easier on your ears. Jake's talking out of a new microphone. Everything's a little newer around here these days. So we thank you guys. And with that being said, we look towards the February event No Way Out 2004. And in the meantime, this has been the Ruthless Aggression Podcast. I'm Levi.
I'm Kyle.
Reminding you too.
Die ruthless.